Yeah. Well, good evening, everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Echo, echo, echo.
Yeah, let's see who we got in here tonight. Eagle Lover, Texas. Hello. Hey, Eagle Lover, Texas. Hello. Hey, Eagle Lover, Texas. Hello. She said I forgot her a bunch of times. So.
Hey, Eagle Lover, Texas.
Gizmo, good evening. Easy, good evening. Starlet Dope, good evening. Half Bumble Off Plum, greatest name on the internet. Was not sure how long he'll be hanging tonight. He's recovering from surgery.
Oh.
I hope
Speedy recovery.
Yep. I hope it was a mild surgery. Yep. Blockchain, good evening to you. And another beautiful free day. I agree. ACM, good evening to you. Hope to see you guys soon. Let me see here. Johnny, good evening. Tambra, good evening from the great state of Texas. Hey, Tambra, anything new going on with the whole border stuff down there? I know what I see on TV, or watching the internet, but of course they're not going to tell me anything. Skanes girl, hello. Mr. Indiana Mike, how's it going, bud?
Ahoy.
Yep, ahoy. Drummondson Live, good evening. LJC, hey.
Hello.
Long time no talk. Good to see you. Where are we at here? I think I got all them. Hey, Zeus. Hey, Zeus.
Hey, Zeus.
They say that backwards? Zeus. No, Zeus.
Zeus. Oh.
Yeah. Appropriate for life. Hello. Matt, how are you? Happy Friday to you as well. Hey, Zeus. It's hard to say. We sang you happy birthday last week. I don't know if you were there or not, but hey, Rain Country, how are you? Carrie Davis, hello as well. Apparently it's raining cats and dogs there. It kind of rained a little bit here today, but almost nothing. Chochi? Choche? I have such struggle with that.
Choche.
Good evening to you. Let me see. Mary Michelle, good evening to you as well. All right, what you got? I'm caught up.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Hey,
did you hear about that? Was it just an earthquake? My phone just said there was an earthquake.
Where?
I didn't look.
Well, look.
You didn't see that?
I didn't feel anything.
Did you?
Man, tornado last week. Last week on our live, we had to run out because of a tornado.
Yeah.
We got back on though, but Rain Country says no rain in Rain Country for about a week. Hey, Helen, good evening to you. Dana, good evening to you. And Dorothy, good evening to you. Where's that?
7.7.
Warning in U.S. We'll hit it. What's it say? Apparently 7.
Well, that went to the email.
7.7 magnitude. She just got a warning. Causes tsunami warming in the U.S. I wonder where.
Oh, that says 3 o'clock. It just alerted me.
Danny, good evening to you. Seeing where it says here. South Pacific region. But the tsunami's now been lifted. Yeah, you're way behind. That's still 7.7.
You're be kidding. That just came. How did that just come through? What is today? Yeah, today.
Well, today. Yeah. Hey, Rain Country. I was watching Ryan Hall earlier, the weather guy, and he's saying you guys are going to get hotter and have less rain this year. So you might have a trend coming on how much rain you get.
She might turn to dry country.
Yeah, Eagle Lover says in the Pacific. Yep. Hey, Mandy, how are you? Hard rain right now in Arkansas. Yep. Couldn't stay long last week, but thank you. And it's Suze. Hey, is how people tend to get my attention. Hey, Suze. Yeah, that's hard. That's a hard one.
Suze, yeah.
I did see that DeSantis sent some law enforcement from Florida to the Texas border. Oh, that's cool. Yep. Hey, DeVries Custom Leather.
Yeah.
Yep, the guy that made my favorite belt ever. And you guys looking for a Father's Day gift, I'm telling you, there's dads will not go buy those kinds of things for themselves. They will not, but I love mine. It says Free Man across the back. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Okay, what do you got?
So I got a couple cool things.
Okay, go ahead.
You want to see so I was at the Midwest Preparedness Festival, and had met a new friend, and we were talking about soil blockers, and who uses the soil blocker. It's right here. Oops. So this right here. So this one has 4. I had one already that you had purchased me, but it had tiny little squares on it. And I had never used it. So I was gifted this week to see if I could use it, if it will make my job easier. And look at this bad boy. This is like hard plastic, so I'm hoping that this lasts a minute. And then like plugs to fit in the holes. Hole plugs. I know, I was so excited. And then the tray, but look at this. So you can pop has holes in the bottom, so you can pop your plugs out instead of trying to like shovel them out with a spoon or squeezing them and breaking them. This thing is pretty industrial, so I'm super excited to use this. I was going to use it today, but I got sidetracked on our new park area.
It's not really new.
Well, it wasn't there last year, right?
No, it was still there.
It was there last year. We just got the pond.
That was there last year too.
Well, it's just now time to start like upkeeping it, I guess. Mowing it. Bum 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 bum. The ever dreading mowing on how much do you think that we mow? Do you think we mow an acre?
Oh, 5 acres.
You think we mow 5 acres?
Probably.
It's a dirty job mowing. Yeah. We have started.
So we went out and decided it was mow day, and so I mowed for about 4 hours and got most of it done.
I mowed for like too, 15 right? minutes, yeah, 20 minutes. I had a flat tire and I came back up, and then
that was the end of her mowing.
That was the end of my mowing. Yes, but so I found Yarrow in the yard where he was going to mow. So, and I knew that he was just going to mow it, and I knew he was not going to mow around certain patches. So I had to stop what I was doing and run out with the scissors and cut off all of the yarrow that I knew he was going to mow so that I could bring it in and harvest it for one of you lucky folks.
Did you get it all harvested?
What I could. There's a couple of pretty big mounds that are not where they're supposed to be that I will harvest, but it's up where I mow, so I know you won't get at it.
See when.
So yeah, right.
Hey, one step closer here.
One step closer.
Mm-hmm. He could probably build you a spreadsheet on how to manage your yarrow in the wild.
Well, so here's the thing. When we bought the property, I didn't know that was yarrow because I didn't know what yarrow looked like. Mm-hmm. And then as we're here and stuff grows and I'm noticing it, it's just noticing new plants. I'm like, let's utilize that. Why don't we? Instead of just mow it and let it go, we can cut it and bring it in and make something with it.
Starla wants to know if you'll do a greenhouse and garden tour video.
Greenhouse and garden tour. I could.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the garden, there's not a lot up yet. There's a lot planted, but there's not a lot up.
Those potatoes that I planted just a couple of weeks ago are already significant. Yeah. And then the beans. Mm-hmm. I've got the beans coming up. The beans, the potatoes, the cosmos, the yarrow, the mullein. I took some rotten tomatoes from last year. They were rotting. I put them in a bucket. I left them in the processing kitchen all winter long. They had enough liquid in there that they just sat there all winter long. And then the spring I took that bucket and I stirred it around and I just poured it into the tomato rows. So we're going to see if that worked. Oh no. It's an experiment.
Yeah, well,
what if that worked and all we had to do to plant, instead of going and like you had said, like Are you going to really go and buy tomato plants? No, I have tomato seeds. I had tomato slurry, I guess. So I have seeds started in the greenhouse, and then I have slurry planted in the yard.
Hey, Teresa, good evening. She was up there, came with Teresa right there. Simmons,
Yes.
I hope Simons or Simmons. I would assume it's Simmons from Alabama. And Bird's Eye View is here, and they're talking about how they're finding all kinds of cool plants on their property. You know, we've been out here at this place for 5 years
Yeah.
now,
And
and we still find it all the time. Every time we go out there, there's something that we're going, oh, what's that?
Well, we're finding gooseberries now.
Everywhere. Yeah.
You know, all it took was for us to find a piece of gooseberry on the ground, and then we're like, hey, they're got to be here somewhere. And then we're like, here they are, here they are, here they are, here they are.
Yep. Hey, our friends Torch Joy and Freedom are with us tonight. Good evening to you.
Have you been productive today?
Have you been productive today? That's right. I was productive today. I worked all day today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I slept
maybe not.
in. I took a nap.
Yeah.
Going to bed early.
Hey, Okie Ranch Wife, a banquet of consequences. I like that name. Hey, hello. I see some familiar names on the Zoom call last night. Yep. Yeah, I like that name. Half Bubble Off Plum says, took out a large rotting pine tree a while back, thinking it would be a good spot for blueberries. Yeah, and Torch Joy and Freedom says, very, very productive.
Wonderful.
Oh, okay. What do I got on my list? Well, let's talk about the garden thing real quick, or the park thing. So on the backside of our dam, guys, I've been trying to keep it to get it cut up enough
Like
to
maintain.
Yeah, no, not really maintain. Just do the early stuff. We're really maintaining it now, but before, just keep everything trimmed up because it's a beautiful place to have a park.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, it is just absolutely gorgeous. And so, be planted. Why don't you tell them what you planted over there this week?
I planted 2. They were some kind of cherry, flowering cherry trees,
Mhm.
and then with white flowers, and then 2 yellow flowering bushes, and then a golden rain tree, 2 redbud trees. So we should have pink flowers, white flowers, yellow flowers. I think that's it.
No, you planted some apple trees.
Oh, yes. I planted 2 apple trees.
That's
Well,
glad.
those are,
What
yes.
about your bushes?
Those are the yellow bushes.
Okay.
Yellow flowered bushes. And then the 2 Honeycrisp apple and a yellow delicious apple.
Mm.
So we have the orchard on this side of the property, but we are going to start planting some fruit trees in other areas.
Why?
Because, well, if something happens to one area, we have another. And then kind of, I guess, to hide it, really.
Yeah, well, I think it's several things. I think it's in case something happens to the other ones, but
Yeah.
I also think that, in the case of bugs, it just gives it a different climate. It's got
Fire.
different dirt over there.
Oh,
Right.
way different dirt.
Yeah, way different dirt, right?
Yeah.
I went over and dug 20 pilot holes with my skid steer. And so I dig a 12-inch wide hole and about 2 feet deep. And so I just was digging these holes just to kind of see what, it's not a part of the property we haven't really messed with much.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it was gypsy soil. And Gypsy's in the house tonight, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about when I say gypsy soil. But just black and fluffy and soft, and
it was easy to plant it.
Yeah,
I'll tell
just
you that.
crumble apart. So it was absolutely awesome. Aljo, by the way, good evening to you. Okie Ranch Wife says, I was clearing out several garden beds and I left fallow for a couple of years. I found poison hemlock. Yuck.
Mm.
Yep. See if I missed anybody. Deborah Calvert's here. Good evening to you. Hey, Gregory's here. Good evening. Yep, another week in paradise. Yeah, I lived in Nebraska, Gregory, a long time. And Mr. Rain is finally in the house, and that's good. That we need somebody here to keep Mrs. Rain, under control. Faith K, welcome. Says, hi, folks. I'm back from my trip back to Louisiana. Came back to thriving potatoes and onions, and most everything I direct sowed didn't make it. Tomato and pepper starts look great, though. Mm. Yeah, I gotta love that. Welcome back, Faith. So anyway, so there's this park. So we've been thinking about a name, and I'd be curious if you guys had a park on your property,
Mhm.
what would you name it? And I'd
Has-
love to hear
has
some recommendations.
water, has an island, has trees,
Yep.
fruit trees,
Got a pond, got an
flowers,
island, got trees. Very,
paths.
very covered. So it's a huge canopy and everything up
Canopy.
underneath it.
Mhm.
Towards Joy and Freedom said, we've been enjoying watching a robin nesting on our deck frame. Laid 4 eggs, but only 1 hatch. Now getting some feathers. Aw.
I love watching. Hey, you got babies too. You got baby birds, and I heard them.
Are they in the shop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Lots
got to go.
of little chirping. That's so cute.
That's got to go.
Those are mouths you don't even have to feed. I mean, they're just nature takes care of them.
Mm-hmm. No, their mom takes care of them.
That's nature. You don't have to put
so
food
when
out.
you take care of me, is that nature?
It's not the same thing. You're still participating in that, right?
Yeah. Heaven's
Yeah.
Half Acre. Oasis Park.
Oasis.
Let me see here. Tag and B, are you planning to attend Self-Reliance in October? I think so. I haven't totally heard from them yet. I had a call with John and Nicole about a week ago. We were kind of talking about some of those things, but so not 100% sure, but it's likely that I'll be there.
You had a couple of other things though that you were looking at in October,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for some reason that time's a busy time of year for me to
It is.
to
Most
travel
people
around.
are trying to get stuff done before the winter hits.
Yeah. Well, it's good though because right now we're busy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Okie Ranch wife, a banquet of consequences says, "Oh my goodness, you're cute."
You guys are too cute. Too cute.
Yeah. Hey, Florida Mama Bear said that late, but I was harvesting 15 pounds of tomatoes. You were not late. You were right on time.
Wow.
Yeah. Tamara's got 15 chicks that no one's claimed yet. Yeah, you got a whole bunch of chicks. How many chicks you got out there now?
Where?
You hatched 30 the first batch because you're on batch 1, 2. You got the third batch this year in the incubators, right?
Yes.
So your first batch, how many did you get? 30.
Yes.
And your second batch, you got 26.
Yes. I'm like, wait, because I did chickens, ducks, chickens, right? Is that no
Mhm.
chickens, ducks, chickens?
Yes, you
Ducks.
did chickens, ducks, chickens, and now ducks. Yes.
Yes. I am so glad I did not fill the rest of the incubator with chicken eggs.
Mhm.
I have 12 duck eggs in there, and I had contemplating filling the rest of them with chickens, the slots, but then they have 2 different needs, and then they grow at different rates, and so I'm so glad that I did not do that.
Mhm.
I was going to
Freeway Park was another suggestion.
freeway.
Yeah. So what were you looking at for your chickens? How many? Right?
Yeah.
We can estimate. She's added about 60 to her flock so far this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we also just got, hey Rickster, how are you, bud? We also just got 5 more from Yoda.
And they're in between.
Yeah.
So I thought that they were born the same time that the first that the teenagers.
Mhm.
And so there's 5 that are slightly smaller than
Mhm.
everything else. So I was like, oh no.
Yeah. So explain why we got chickens from Yoda.
We lent her our incubator and some eggs. And in return we got 5 chicks.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And we don't know if they're not sexed, so they could be one or the other.
Yeah. So we traded a rental on an incubator and some eggs and got 5 chickens in return.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we agreed to do is we'd get half and they'd get half, and they hatched 11. So they got 6, we got 5. Tamara says she has 20 that she's growing out for herself.
So how many chickens is too many chickens? That's that chicken math, like as many as you can fit in the coop, right?
Well, no, because technically you could stack them in there, right?
No, there's like a per square foot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think your coop. I think you're about 100. You're pushing.
I got a ways to go.
You got a
then.
ways to go.
I can
Faith says chicken math equals infinity.
infinity.
Yeah,
Because some of them can sleep outside.
You've got about 80 right now, right? Aren't you about 80 right now? Yeah, because you hatched 30 and almost 30. That's 60, and you had what 25?
Like
yeah, you've got 85 out there now. You can never have too many chickens, says Tamara.
I mean, you're going to eat some of them, so.
Yeah, Gregory says we're working on our second chicken hatch, going well. Yeah, babe, this fall we'll butcher all the roosters, right?
Yes, fill the freezers.
Yeah. I'm sore. 10 hours of building daily. I'm getting a nice farmer's tan. Yeah, I got kind of sunburned a little bit from riding the mower. But
on your.
Do you not have that information? What are you looking for?
That's what I was looking for. But I've got so much in here. It's just.
So you don't know what anything is?
No.
So what else have we been doing? I've been unloading my shipping container. So when we moved out here, those of you guys who know my story, we moved kind of in a hurry. And so we bought 2 shipping containers, and she filled one and I filled one. And anyway, I've been trying to get mine unloaded because I really want to use it as a like a kiln, right? Something I can stack wood in, I can stack pipe in, I can maybe even stack some, PVC in, just some supplies in. So I'm trying to get it unloaded. Plus my wood shop and my mechanic shop, I don't have all my tools out there because some of them are still in the shipping container. And so I've taken 5 truckloads out of my shipping container.
Do you have to have some kind of like circulation in a kiln? How does that work?
Yeah, the breeze, that's a good thing.
Hot.
Yeah, I would put some of those, those round fans that spin.
Uh-huh.
I'd put a couple on the top.
Like a solar fan.
Yeah.
So just hot and airflow.
Yep. So Mr. Rain says that it's 10 square foot per bird. If that's the case, you'll have way too many.
Is it 10 square feet per bird? No way.
Yeah. No, I think he's referring to the coop. But we free range, and so we've got way more than that as far as being out. I think what she was referring to, Mr. Rain, is in the coop at night. Because they only go in there at night, and then they're back out in the morning. Looks like Okie Ranch was having a storm. Hey, Dan Redding. Hey, everybody. Dan Redding's in the house. Long time friend of mine. I've known that man a very long time. Mr. Rain says, I think shipping containers make a great kiln. Man, it's going good. I'm getting old. You can tell, see all my gray hair. I didn't have any gray hair till I met her. Just saying. Right?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting ready to have an anniversary, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. How many years is it? 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So here next month, B and I have been together 18 years. You guys see how she barely remembered it?
I was like, this is May.
They say the memory is the first thing to go.
February, March, April, May.
Years ago, we could sell eggs. The truck would and pick them up about 60 dozen at a time, if I remember.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't really sell much of them. We sell a few eggs, but really more when there were just someone really, really wants some. We don't really go out of our way to sell anything really.
Well, no, I've been taking them, and so in the wintertime, I use the wood stove to just bake them, and then I feed them back to the animals. And then now in the summer, when we don't have the wood stove going, I put them in the sun oven, and then I can fit 9 dozen in there, and I just leave them in there, rotate them a couple times through the day, and then they're done.
Yeah. Then you feed them to the dogs,
and then I feed them back to the animals. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so by the way, speaking of dogs, as most everybody knows on here, we got 2 new puppies, 2 livestock guardian dogs. Why don't you talk about your experiences with them?
They've, I thought it was going to be a whole lot harder, with them wanting to be outside, then I don't have a whole lot of messes inside to clean up. Now, outside, they're still finding, a glove that I left on the table, and one blew, and then they take that one glove out into the yard, and then I have to, hunt things down like that. But I'm not cleaning up like poop and pee in the house, like, 3, 4, 5 times a day, because puppies have accidents. So on the back deck, I had puppy pads, and I put 3 out, and at nighttime I shut the door, and they're in there, and went in there, but here, how long have we had them? 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So now I get up in the morning, I open the door, they go out and they potty, and then they come back and they expect to be fed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put some food down, and then the rest of the day they're out and about. And then, so like they're learning that they're not to potty on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they potty, they come back and they want a treat. Mm-hmm. So, or they want food, but I don't keep food out all the time for them because I'm like training them to like come to me. Like, you want food, you're gonna have to come to me, because otherwise they don't come to me. Otherwise, I'm like,
yeah. Gregory wants to know what breed they are.
Akbash,
and Anatolian Shepherd.
Anatolian Shepherd.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Rickster says, tag, when can I buy your solar stuff? But you can go on there today, griddown.com. It's all that stuff's available to ship. If they don't have the checkout or that kind of stuff on there, just send me an email and I'll take care of it for you. But they can ship today. Yeah, they're great puppies, by the way. Hey, Chuck Peoples, how you, bud? Where am I at here? You see, it's funny, each week the windows behind you are bright with daylight, and when I look out my windows, it is a surprise to me that it's dark already here. Yeah. Chicks are good right now in a trough in the garage. When they start flying out of the trough. Yeah, I made B I should have. Like did I film it?
Brood.
I don't think I did it.
I'm gonna let her out. Yeah, she was whining.
So I built B a big brooder with
you should
a lid that lifts up, and it's got heaters in it, and it's got everything in it. It's all included in it, so that it nothing can get knocked over. It's got windows so you can view it. It's got a fan so you can control the temperature, all that kind of stuff. So that's what she does. So that's why we put a lid on them so they don't fly out. But all right, where are we at here? You see here. Need to binge watch your YouTube channel. I found your channel through Pinball. Oh, cool. Yeah, very, very cool. I don't think I've ever been on Pinball's channel, I don't think. Talked to him a couple times. Yeah, and it'll be dark here pretty quick, guys. It's 7:27, and it won't take long, and then the sun will be down in the back. B went to go let one of the dogs out because she was sitting at the bottom of the stairs whining. The boxers, the other two. What else? I can get through some headlines. Hey, I was watching Ryan Hall today, and he was talking about how we're going to have us get into a super El Nino. I don't know if you guys have heard that or not, but so basically the south is going to be wetter with more thunderstorms. The middle part of the country will be warmer, and the north will be hotter. I found that to be pretty interesting. Tamara says, that's nice, but I'm not a carpenter and I don't have a man. Yeah, that's the very basics of carpentry, Tamara. I'm telling you, anybody could build it. It was not hard at all. I just sandwiched a piece of 1.5-inch foam between 2 panels of plywood and built a big 8-foot long, 3-foot wide box with a lid that lifts up. It was really, really basic, but it works really, really good. I'll shoot a video one of these days of it. Hey, speaking of videos, just so I say it, there's a lot of stuff I do, guys, I don't film because it's just like unloading the shipping container. I filmed none of it. Unpacking it in my garage, I filmed none of it because to me, that's like, who wants to watch me unpack boxes? That'd be like the most boring thing ever, you know? Tag, milled materials today for the solar room expansion. Oh, cool. Very, very awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting on them to get some stuff back to me. I'm hoping we can get a lot of that stuff on the run. Let me see here. You and Pinball should do a collaboration video. Yeah, you know what? I offered to him, Half Bubble, when he joined Freesteading, he sent in an application to be a community leader on Freesteading. And so I did a video conference call with him, as I do pretty much all of them. And I offered it, and he said, that's not really what I do. So I just never pushed it. But let me see here. Dan says, been humid as heck down here. Yeah, and I would not want to live in Texas. Nothing against you Texans, but I bet it is hot. Mm. Chuck People said, if I can figure out simple carpentry. Yeah. Tamara says, I'd like to build a composting toilet. Yeah, easy. Think of a cat litter box with a seat on the top of it, right? People like to watch other people eat or shop, so you never know. Yeah, but to me, that's just weird. You know, like, okay, here's the 19th box I'm taking out of the shipping container. Oh, what's in it? Oh, but it was cool because I found all kinds of little things. Like one of the boxes I opened up, man, it was full of C-clamps. I already had, 30 or 40 C-clamps in my shop that I use all the time, but I found a whole box of C-clamps. That was really cool.
Yeah. Now we can concrete posts.
Yeah. So just stuff like that.
That's what those are for, right?
Yeah.
That's why you have them.
Yeah.
Mainly.
But I use them when I weld, like if I'm going to build a bumper or I'm going to fabricate something, a gate, like I'm getting ready to start on the 2 gates for up here. Got them laying over there.
I thought you had particular metal clamps that you use.
I have
that
some,
are like magnet or something.
I have some of those, but sometimes a C-clamp's just good to get it in a square. Once I square the gate, you put a carpenter square on, you get it perfectly square and clamp that thing down to that metal table. So when you're welding, it's not moving around on you, stuff like that. Alyssa, hello. Good evening to you. Let me see here. Where am I at? Yesterday we had smoke from the fires in Canada, burned our eyes, and was hard to breathe.
Wow.
Yeah, you had them in Nebraska. You've had the smoke from Canada because we haven't had any down here yet. Yep, San Angelo, Texas. That's where Dan's living. Your epoxy table turned out fantastic. Yeah, it's almost done. I've got a 1/2 inch to pour on the top, and then I will finish it, wrap it, and it should be all done. But I have 12 gallons of epoxy in it right now.
That's going to be heavier.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
That was great mathematics.
Yeah.
High five.
Yeah. I'm like, how are we going to carry that? So I was struggling to carry it before you put 12 gallons of liquid in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I added 12 gallons of epoxy, and I'll probably have 3 more gallons for them.
I just went like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You remember carrying 5-gallon buckets of water?
Yeah.
Right. So I'll have 3 of them added to the table by the time it's done. But it's really cool. I found some neat stuff. Like I found a little top of a child's toy. I found a little rabbit that had one ear broken off, a little porcelain rabbit. Just all kinds of stuff from the original homestead. There's no corkscrew. Just some really, really cool stuff. I'm super excited to get it done. Where are we at here? Alyssa says good math. That's good math.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, MJ from Wisconsin. How are you, my friend? I can't have too much wood clamps when assembling cabinets. No, you cannot. There's just no such thing as too many clamps. My brother has Canadian fire smoke in central South Dakota. Interesting. Yeah, we've had none here. Hey, LJC, when's the next time we're going to see you guys, by the way? That's what my husband says about his clamps. I love finding the antique ones for him. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to tell you, clamps are a great buy. If you're ever looking for something to buy your husband or, your brother or any of them, you can never have too many clamps. Ever. Just absolutely no such thing.
All the same size? Just get all the same size.
No, I mean, a variety is nice, but just like the C-clamps, I have, I don't even know, 56-inch C-clamps. But what it allows you to do, baby, is clamp an entire perimeter of something. I don't know if you notice, when you weld, heat will move your metal. So like if you're welding around and you don't get it all clamped.
Details.
Yeah, it will. I guess I'll just leave it at that. Humidity was way worse than high temps in Texas and bad in Houston. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine, Derek Bros, running for mayor in Houston. I don't think he can win, but I really hope he would because he would change some things. I'm a steady streamer and I'm looking into other types of streams. I'm so happy that I found you guys subbed. Hey, Alyssa, thank you very much. Yep. If there's anything I can do to help you, if you want to chit chat on, on a live sometime, I'm all in. Heat and humidity is terrible. Yep. Or reading glasses. I have to buy those by the gross for Patrick. Yeah. I break mine all the time too. But that's what's really great about a $1 pair of reading glasses. How much are they? They're probably not $1.
No, those ones are a little bit more, but they're not.
A few dollars?
Like 4 maybe or 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot better than the $700 ones.
Yeah. LJC says July the 5th for me, mid-June for Mo. If Mechanic Mike has a skid steer fix, Mo got his early Father's Day gift, a grapple bucket for moving those trees. Oh,
wow. That's exciting.
Yeah, big win. I have not talked to Mike in a little bit, but if you want me to follow up with him, I'd be happy to. Yeah, LJC, her husband got a skid steer. and it is beautiful. And there's some things I really like about it. But Dollar Tree, grab a few readers every time I go. Yeah, you can't have enough of them, can you? Did you know we're going to go camping with Cabe?
No.
So I figured I'd tell everybody this. So my boys got a hold of me and said, "Hey, Dad, let's come camping and a youth camp out." When he said youth, all of their friends that are in their 20s and early 30s. So apparently, B and I are going to go out in June and spend a little time out at the lake with the boys. So I'm pretty excited about that too. What else? We talked about the Yoda deal.
I didn't hear about it. Oh, yeah, the chickens.
Yeah.
Chicks.
Yeah, you got something? What you got next?
Oh, we got a locker. We got a locker appointment. We got a steer at the locker.
Yep. Tell them about that.
We purchased a steer 100 years ago. No. 4 years ago.
4 years ago? No, 3.
A baby.
3 years ago.
So it was 3 years old. And it was time to cash in.
Time to fill the freezers.
Yeah.
Say it like that.
Yep.
Yep. So, guys, how we talk about community all the time. Well, one thing we do around here quite often is we'll go in and buy stuff. So like my neighbor right across the street from me, he's super like-minded. He's been on a couple of my shows, guy with a big beard over time. But anyway, Hitch, for those of you guys who know him. So we were going to buy some cows. So we went and bought a bunch together. And so I own half of a few, for example. And then when it comes time, we just butcher them and eat them. But I really like doing that. And a lot of times too, that some of the farmers will let you buy, what I call a share. I don't know if that's exactly how they word it, but where you don't really buy an animal, you buy a value. And then when it comes time to cash in, whatever they happen to have, you can cash in on it. And that seems to work pretty good for me. But I like it. Dan says, I haven't seen Cade since he was little. Oh my God, how is he? You know what, Dan? He's
tall.
He's taller than I am. So he's 6'5", probably, because I'm 6'2". So he's 6'4", 6'5". Yeah. He's a big old guy. Successful, owns a bunch of houses, just doing great. Doesn't ask me for anything other than my advice. Don't get in trouble. He's a good kid. He's not really a kid anymore. He's 30.
Yeah.
So Dan, if I didn't just age you, I don't know.
30.
Yeah, he's 30. So
well, he will be in just a few days.
Yeah, he will be shortly. Yeah. So anyway, we get to fill the freezer. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool game.
So I'm super excited to have beef.
Wait, is
in
Bobby
the
in
freezer?
Oh, look at that. Hey, Dan Redding, Bobby's in the house. Hey, Bobby, how are you? Oh, yeah, you beat me to it.
Hey, Bobby.
What's up, Bobby? How are you? Yeah, how I hear you guys are going to for those of you guys who don't know, Bobby Seeger in here, that's my sister, and she owns the Water Street Waffle Company in Belton, Texas. And so I guess you guys are expanding and they're getting ready to be open up in the evenings, and so that'd be pretty cool, huh? Yeah.
So is that going to be like Water Street Waffles and more?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like waffles at night?
Yeah, waffles at night.
Is it going to be breakfast for dinner?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I want to know.
No. Man, I wonder if I'll put a link in here. Hey, RN, how are you? Oops. Probably shouldn't do that. Oh,
Did you totally just...
It's all right.
Oh, I thought you exited out.
No. I was going to put a link to the Water Street Waffle Company because it's a great place to eat.
Do they have a website?
Oh, yeah. I need to get this.
Do you want me to make some room?
Yes, they are awesome. Let me see here. Water Street Waffle Company, Belton, Texas. I'm just going to put a link, guys, here. So let's see here. Website.
Oh, yeah, they've got sandwiches.
Okay, here we go.
I've never eaten there.
So, and I'm telling you guys, she has told me that if anybody goes in there and tells them that they're from Life Done Free or Free Man or any of that stuff, that
Free Steady,
she'll give you guys a discount. There you go. I put it in there. So if you guys ever get to Belton, Texas, go stop in and see Bobby and tell her to feed you a waffle. But demand Kansas honey in your waffle.
Mm.
I've been torturing her for a while. She's never got my honey, but anyway. All right, what else you got?
Steer. I cleaned out the chicken coop today.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It's clean.
Mhm.
Like once a year, get in there, get all the winter stuff out, scrape everything down, get it ready for new babies to come through. I should have thought about that because I'd taken all the bedding out, and then the bedding that's outside is wet from the rain earlier. So I didn't have bedding to put in because it was damp.
You got hay all over the place.
So, well, it's damp from the rain from this morning. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep, breakfast all day.
Is that what it is?
Why is my mouse moving slow? Okay. All right, my turn. What do we else got? Oh, hey guys, there is some super exciting stuff going on. There's construction going on everywhere in our community. I absolutely cannot wait. You know, there's houses being built and basements that are working on being poured and barns being built.
Oh, all the people
just
who are
all
moving into the community.
All the homesteads, yeah.
Who
There's just
who
stuff.
are breaking ground and starting ponds and trees. And
Yep, which would be really cool, huh? And then we've got a building getting ready to go up, right? What do we got?
The Wallapini?
No.
What building are you talking about?
The community building.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. Are you tired today? Are you tired?
I'm sorry. Yes, we have a community building we're working on. Yes. Yeah,
so I'm going to figure I'd keep you guys up to speed on that. So far we got a solar system donated. I got all the building material donated for the outside. When not counting the OSB.
Did I tell you about the roof guy, the metal guy?
Yep.
He said you can come and look at it.
I think we found tin for the roof. I got to go look at it.
Maybe.
Yeah. So we'll go look at that. What else? Got 3 boxes of cap tops to use for roofing paper. So that's pretty cool. So anyway,
solar system.
The solar system's great. I was wondering how I was going to figure that one out. All right, where we got here? Mr. Rain says resisting the urge to buy a 2000 Bobcat 873 hide flow with 1121 hours comes with a regular bucket, clam bucket, and forks. Why would you resist the need to buy something like that? Talk about a force multiplier, right?
Yeah, but what if he doesn't need it? What if he already has a Bobcat?
2 is 1 and 1 is none.
I was going to say, so yes, when we blow a hydraulic line, then having a second one on hand would be helpful, but putting tracks on 2?
You'd wear them out half as fast.
No, not really, because we only
use it
half the time anyway.
Oh, goodness.
I'll go let the dog in. The bark so I think she thought that there was somebody out there because she went out there like in a force.
Okay. Manny wants to know how big the community building will be. So it's 6. So the inside will be 16 by 40. But then on either side of the building, we're covering 12 more feet so that we've got picnic tables and stuff up underneath there. So what's that? 12, 24, 30. So 40 by 40 will be the total covered space by the time I'm done. Tamper says it's about 17 miles from Killeen to Belton. Yeah, you guys get up there. Go have a waffle. Ask for Bobby. She'll take good care of you. Second one unused to pick up. The first one to make repairs. See, Hippocrates? Why? You should have said that while B was here. That'd have been a whole lot funner, you know? I'd love to buy another skid loader. Well, I just bought a telehandler, says Mr. Rain. So quit living in the past. And if Heidi brings up the fact that you just bought a telehandler, tell her to quit living in the past. It's over. That ship has sailed. It's on to newer things, right? Yeah, I'm big and bad, huh? Why B's not in here. What else we got going on here? Oh, I read something interesting. You guys, I don't know if you guys ever watch Peter Zion on YouTube or not, but he's an economist, and I like him. I think he's a really, really smart guy. But man, he blew me away today. He was predicting the 2024 election and that Biden would win. And he went through this whole spiel, how Trump would be the Republican nominee and but how it will break down and the independents and all of this. And I did not expect him to say that at all, because that would not really be like him. But anyway, that's what he said. So you guys ought to go watch that video. It was pretty interesting. I could not imagine that happening, but Make code names, says Hippocrates. Skid steer equals cobbler. Telehandler is cake. Then just tell the wife you bought a cake. Ran a track off yesterday. It took 2 other skid steers and a Mini X. Oh, see? All right, I'm going to go back to these couple comments when B gets up here. No way. That would not be good for our country. Well, yeah, it wouldn't be good, but he actually makes a pretty compelling case. Popery, if you go to Peter Zeihan, and he's a really bright guy, and he kind of just breaks down why Trump will be the nominee for the Republicans and why Biden will be and then how it will break down and how that, basically 90% is already decided. It's just that last 10% and why it'll be the way that it is. Yeah, Eagle Lover, I think you got a good point too. Yeah, we know he will win in 2024. I mean, unless you can convince me that he truly was the most popular president in the history of the world, I don't know how that will how that'll go down. But hey, there's some really good ideas in here. What are you looking for? Oh, I don't know. Here's have our paper towel.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Okay, so I got some really good ideas, and these are some really smart people in here tonight. You know that? Yep. So, where am I? So first, Hippocrates says that you got to have a second skid loader to pick the first one up to make repairs, which is a good one. But then DeVries Custom Leather said that he ran a track off of one of his, and it took 2 other skid steers and a mini excavator to get it up enough to put the track back on.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Getting the track back on would be important. Wouldn't you agree?
You're not supposed to run them off.
No, but stuff happens, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Right. And you would agree that the track being on is important, right?
Because you can't drive it to where.
No, it's not driving without a track. Right?
I don't know.
Guys, she isn't buying. She is just
without
not
a track, it won't move at all.
At all. No.
It's not like a car with a flat tire. You just go slow.
No. Hey, Terminator, how are you? Said I started at 7 a.m., rebuilt the big stall in the barn, and built a new feeder for the piglets, then planted all of my potatoes before the rain came. Now time to enjoy everyone tonight and relax. Hey, I was going to ask you something, Terminator. I heard a rumor that Canada has announced they're getting rid of all paper cash, paper money, all physical money, and going purely to digital. Have you heard that? Or is that just me? I'd be curious to know. Rain Country says, remember when people would not vote for Ron Paul because he was too old, but Biden is older than Ron Paul was the last time he ran? Mm. Yeah, it was interesting. When I was listening to Peter, he was talking about if Trump and Biden are the nominees and they're the ones running, whoever wins will be the oldest president in the history of the United States. That's exciting, right?
Wow.
Yeah, could you imagine? I cannot believe someone would actually think Biden could get reelected. That guy's a moron. Mashed potatoes.
There are people who think that he is doing a fantastic job. There are people out there who think that he is doing a fantastic job.
Torch Joy and Freedom says B is the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And she reminds me of it all the time, too.
You got that right.
Hippocrates says, I still say Mike Rowe for president. You know what, bud? I think Mike Rowe would be a great write-in candidate. And I think if we could get, 10 million people to write Mike Rowe in, maybe it wakes somebody up. I'm voting for tag, says Rickster. Yeah, I am never, ever running. Putting on the tracks is a real pain. Yes, it is. Deep mud and a root that hit just right ran a track off of the second ones. Had to fix both.
Oh, no. I think that if you ever ran one off, you should just fix both anyways.
Yeah, just replace them?
Yes.
Yeah, they're expensive. Every time I do my tracks, it's $6,000.
Yes.
Let me see here. Hey, Sweet Savior Words, good evening to you. They think he is doing a fantastic job and think he doesn't lie. Sad but true. Oh, my goodness.
Right. He's right.
Yeah, but they all lie. All of them. Republican, Democrat, they don't make no difference. None. The Republicrats. What we play this stupid game where they convince us that, we get to choose from the 2 candidates that they want. And then we should walk away cheering democracy, Democracy.
Democracy.
Give me a break, man. Duh. Seriously, you cannot be that stupid. Oh my goodness. Carrie says B is the bomb. That's
The
cute.
bomb.
That should be a t-shirt. I haven't heard anything, but I sure can't find out. Yeah, I heard a couple different places talk about that today, so I was just curious. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yeah, unfortunately, Rain, we've been playing stupid games for a long, long time, and the stupid prizes just keep coming.
Yes.
Yeah, they just keep coming, and they just keep coming, and they just keep coming. Yep, it's just so ridiculous. You know, Peter was talking about how the Republicans, that 25% of the population is going to vote for Trump no matter what he does, and 25% are going to vote for whoever the Democratic nominee is, presumably Biden, no matter what. So that's 50% of the population right there. And then you've got the 20% on the Democrat side that's likely to vote Democrat no matter what, and 20% likely to vote Republican no matter what. So it's the 10% in the middle, which comes down to disenfranchised independents. And, you know, people who don't feel like their voice is heard, typically younger, you know, those kind of things are who is going to decide the election. And this is why he thinks that Biden will win.
Oh.
Yeah, Okie Ranch Life says it's the uniparty. And I'm so disgusted. Yeah, freedom is more important than prosperity. 100%. Matt says, I listened to an audio version of Peter's book a couple weeks ago. His work is solid. Yeah, he's a really smart guy. For those of you guys who don't follow him, man, I'm telling you, he is a smart guy. I wouldn't go so far as to say that he is always right necessarily, but I mean, he's a very smart economist. He understands how it works.
Was that who you were watching?
That's what I was watching when you came up. I was watching him right before we went live. Hey, All American Prepper, how are you? All American Prepper's in the house. Did a video with him just last week.
Oh.
I'm interested in your opinion. I have purchased a tiny home and will need to purchase some other items, so I buy now or in August after I pick it up. Do you think crazy inflation will hit soon? Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a gizmo. This is a huge story, but let me try. Let me try to tackle it here and make it simple. So try. So the markets are saying. So the markets right now have already priced in a flat inflation. Okay, so the markets are betting right now on a flat inflation. They're also, by saying that, what they're also saying is they're anticipating that it won't be too long and they'll begin to lower the rates. Now, I'm not talking about what I think. What I'm talking about is what the markets say. But then there's the flip side to this argument, which is, this is why I don't think that's what's going to happen. The people are bailing on the dollar. And so the only way you can make the dollar attractive is the government has to pay more, right? Like on a treasury. So they have to raise the interest rates. They have to make that attractive to them. So because people are bailing on the dollar, I think inflation will continue to go up. I think it would be smart to trade as much cash as you're comfortable and turning it into assets, I think is a good bet today. And it's what I'm personally doing.
You think gold too? Is that an asset?
Yeah, gold's an asset, silver's an asset, but
hold?
Yeah, so's the pallet of 2x6s. You know what I mean? So, because I think prices are going to continue to go up.
I would agree.
So, and it's not for the reasons people would think. Like our country, our economy, it's critical that we have forever growth. Right? This is what it's built on, right? It can't go backwards. It's built on more, right? More debt, right? Easy money, free money, you know, and so what they really want to do is lower those interest rates again, because what it does is it keeps that free money going. It keeps that infinite growth going. The problem is they can't. And they can't because people are bailing on the dollar. How do you make it attractive for people to continue to buy it? Pay more, right? That's it. That's the only way. And how you pay more is you raise the interest rates. And so I think they're going to keep, my opinion would be, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you any advice, you know, entertainment purposes only, blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you, I am trying to get out of the dollar the best I can. All right. Well, where are we at? I think they will take Biden out, says Barb. There was a story today that the World Economic Forum wants him gone because he is so brain dead. Yeah, but I think they like him brain dead. I think it helps the people behind the scenes push the buttons better. Brain Country says, I just stopped voting for evil, period. Yeah, that's such a hard equation. I would agree that certainly on a national level, you vote. I don't see how it matters, again, unless you can convince me Biden was the most popular president in the history of the world, which you just cannot convince me of. But I do think there's some value still in your local school boards and your local sheriff, and some of those kind of things. I think they want, Dan says, I think they want Newsom in office. World Health Organization, that World Economic Forum, that is. Yeah, that's actually pretty smart too. That was well said. Mr. Rain says assets like skid steers. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Mr. Rain, I would really compliment Heidi because she was talking about this earlier. I think she's on to something, and you need to get out of the way and just let her buy a skid loader, Mr. Rain. Just get out of the way. Let her do it. Turn that money into hard asset stuff you're going to need in the future. Yep. Ed says, as a recovering politician, I can guarantee you that no matter how bad the candidates are, one of them will win. Ed,
he's right.
Yeah, Ed, if it makes you feel better, bud, I'm a recovering, I don't know what they call that, but I helped many candidates get elected. I raised lots of money for them, all the way back to Governor Bill Graves and, some of them here where I live. And I'm recovering too, so don't feel bad. And I think you're absolutely right that one of them will win. Thanks so much. Stovepipe is crazy expensive already. Paid cash for the totally off-grid. Yeah. Well, I think that this is the thing. We talk about Gizmo this all the time on our channel and how do you get free? And the thing is, you have to, and this, guys, I cannot stress this enough. What you have to understand is that if you ask any general, you guys have heard me say this many times, how many fronts do you want to fight a battle on? They're going to tell you one. The reason they're going to tell you one is the more fronts you have to fight on, the more it splits your resources, right? You want to be able to funnel your resources. So if you don't have a mortgage and you don't have to pay that, that's one less front you have to fight on, right? If you don't have a car payment, that's one more. If you produce your own electricity, that's one more. If you produce your own water, that's one more. And you just keep whittling it down, trying to get those fronts to as small as you can, because when it takes off, when people finally say, hey, I've had enough of the dollar, when people finally say, hey, turn their back on America, because they will, right? When that day finally comes, the $15 a gallon gas, it won't affect you so much if you have but think about it. If you have no car payments, no mortgage, no water bill,
and you're producing your own food.
You're
the only one driving.
Well, but you can withstand that a lot better. Yeah, well, maybe.
You better just stay home.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, $15 a gallon for gas. Can you imagine those days?
Yeah. All American Prepper said hard assets at fiat currency is crashing. Fiat currency is crashing. I don't know. They are working together. It's a money-making business, the government. Oh, of course it is. Oh, hey, Porterhouse and Teal is here. I don't know if it's Porterhouse or Teal, but either one. Very good evening to you. Gregory says, when the other countries dump the dollar and they all come back here, inflation will continue. Yep. I don't see any other way but for them to continue to raise it, because if they don't, they won't sell off their debt. If they don't sell off their debt, the system crashes. Right? I mean, if you think about how the system works, right? I just don't see it. So I think they're going to have to keep doing it.
To raise it.
Even though I promise you they want to lower them. But they can't. Let me see. Trying to put as much into assets as possible. Yep. I think that is absolutely smart. Yep. Yeah, how's California, bud? Any weird news out there? You guys always have weird news. Mr. Rain says Heidi's been really cool about everything. Oh, I know she has. And I know that she absolutely gave you, a wink and blew you a kiss across the room and said, go get that skid steer, baby. If that makes you happy, go get it. I'll support you. I'll even go pick it up for you. Why don't you hang out? Let me get you an iced tea and I'll go pick up the skid loader.
Yes, that's probably what she said. I'm sure word for word. It's like a fly in the room.
Yep. All American Prepper said, I absolutely agree. That's why I live off grid. Yeah. And I think this is really, really important. Like a lot of people are like, hey, what should I store for bartering? And all of those things are good, right? To do those kind of things. But I think you'd be way better off taking those assets and getting water independent.
Yes.
Or one of them, pick
Or
one,
electric.
or pay a car off, or whatever it is. Just eliminating, those fronts. Mr. Rain says, tag, you're right on. Pay now or pay later. Yep. And I think you're better off getting into some hard assets. Like a lot of people have said in here, invest in knowledge is a good one. Property taxes are my largest bill. I think it's probably ours too.
Yeah. Horse
and buggy just in case, and a great for a Sunday drive. Yeah, I think I think Yoda has an Amish cart for sale. Is that right?
I think she's keeping it.
Is she? Guys, next time you're on Grumpy Acres, ask Yoda about her Amish cart. Let me see here. I heard a channel say they talked to their local sheriff who got a notice that said, stand by, it's coming. I get lots of that stuff. Lots of those kind of notices. The problem is you just don't know ultimately where it came from. I don't talk about them unless I can, substantiate them typically. But Barb says CBDC. Yeah, CBDC is here, guys. It's already here. And it's coming, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you will participate in it. I promise you will. Unless you never plan on buying anything.
Right.
No, that is where I draw the line. He has to go get it. Aw, you know what? Here's the cool news. Mr. Rain, listen, this is really, really important. She doesn't want to go get it, but she did just say you could have it. So she just gave the blessing. So I want to hear about the skid steer on Friday and,
Yes.
Right? You agree?
Yes.
Yeah. B wants to hear about the skid steer too.
Yes.
Gregory says $15 gas. My wife and I have horses.
I think he should show pictures.
Yeah, apparently Heidi's laughing. I ride motorcycle and I can go a long ways on a gallon of gas. That's one reason why I ride. See, I think this is a good idea too, having different sources like that. I've always talked about, I'd love to get a 48 volt golf cart, that we could pedal around in, get a 5,000 gallon septic tank, bury it and fill it with water. Yep. Except I would encourage you, don't get a septic tank, get a water potable tank. Well, it's because the plastics are different. They leach.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that's what she meant, but get a variable, and you can tell the difference because the yellow ones are for sewage. The white ones are for water. They look exactly the same. The color is just different. Let me see here. I just bought a Tennessee walking horse. Oh, cool. Our governor in Florida, DeSantis, said he was not going to allow the CDC in Florida. I hope he's correct. Well, he may not have a choice. See, this is the problem, All-American Prepper. So the Federal Reserve begins with the word federal for a reason, right? That's where the money comes from. So he may not have a choice. Let me see. Slow mode is on. SND not needed. I just got my 3,000 gallon water tank delivered today. Oh, congratulations, Porterhouse. Water redundancy is better than money in the bank. Matter of fact, pretty much anything is better than money in the bank. Yeah, that's exactly right. And guys, I think, Porterhouse brings up such an important topic here is redundancy. You need to have more than one way to heat water, right? You got to have more than one way to get water, right? What if the well dries? We were talking about Ryan Hall earlier, and that El Nino is going to come through. We're going to be drier here.
Yep.
Is what he's predicting. So if that's true, and maybe we could talk about this a little bit about what are some of the things that you do, right, to deal with the lack of rain, right?
Yeah.
Why you didn't have to hardly water it all last year. But anyway, the moral of the story is water, and redundancy. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Spags, what's up, bud? Make sure I got everybody. Yep. So talk about how you dealt with the drought last year, because it was pretty hot last year.
As far as the garden goes, So last year we used mulch and covered all of the beds with that. And this year we have moved the mulch. Well, technically the chickens moved the mulch. So I left the mulch in the walkways and then added more mulch in the walkways. And then I took the hay, prairie hay. Is that what you call it? What do we prairie hay?
Yeah.
And I used that. That was in the walkways. I picked that up and put it on top of the bed, the planting beds, and then put the mulch in the walkways. So with the dirt covered up, it helped keep the moisture in, so we didn't have to water as often. Plus the swells, or the way that, do you call them swells? The way you have them shaped hold water in them because
Mhm.
they're shaped like kind of in an arch.
Mhm.
So those hold water in those also.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's that. I think it's the mulch.
and then last year at the end of the season, you bought me shade cloth.
Yeah.
So I haven't used the shade cloth because it was a new addition
Mhm.
at the end of last year, but I do have, I don't even know, 100 feet or something
Of shade cloth?
of the shade
Oh, way more
cloth.
than that. 500 feet.
It's a huge
Yeah.
box. They're individually wrapped.
Yeah.
So I didn't
I bought you
unwrap
enough to
them.
cover one of your gardens completely. All the rows in one of them.
Okay.
So we may need to get some more, but if I had money, I would get it out of the bank, but I literally do not even have a bank account. Yeah, guys, there was a today, Janet Yellen talking about the banks. So today, Janet Yellen was quoted as saying that the smaller regional banks may have to be taken over by the larger banks. This is a really big
Why?
statement.
What
Well,
was her reasoning?
well, the truth or how she's
What
selling
she
it.
said. Yeah,
Yeah,
what
so
she said.
how
Why
there's-
would that benefit the banks?
So a bunch of just last week, a bunch of the big banks, so Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, all of them, they met with Janet Yellen in closed door meetings. There's a couple of them going. There's actually a big closed door meeting going on right now about artificial intelligence. But anyway, I'll get back to that. So anyway, because of all the banks that have been failing lately, she's saying that in order to protect the banking system, the big banks may need to take it over. But as I'm telling you, what it's really about is nationalizing the banking system.
Well, you said from the very beginning
Mhm.
that the banks need protecting.
Now, they are going to make the banks the bad guy. You watch. And that's how they'll bring on the centralized bank and the, no more cash and, finish up the CBDC and all that good stuff. Can creek water be purified of all where it functions like well water? Yes, 100% it can be. I would use creek water, no problem. I'd run it through my filtering system, up into my house, through my UV filters. And if I was going to drink it, I'd run it through a Berkey or one, a similar filter like that. I might miss a few people. If I did, I'm sorry. Tag, what is the weak links and wearable parts you have extra for your mill? So fuel pump, fuel filter, blades, and there's some bushings in there too that we keep there. What else is big? I think we have an extra. No, I don't have an extra pump of that. I think those are the big ones that I have: fuel filter, oil filter, blades. I don't have an extra belt, but it's brand new that's on there, and it's this monster. It's not even a belt, it's a chain. Yeah, I need a chain. I need to get another chain. That'd be a good one to have. Let me see here. Got to go put up the chicken, says Tambra. Let's see here. You can't eat silver and gold, so I think you need to think of various ways to have food, water, and shelter. Yeah, I tell people this all the time. I would not be buying silver and gold and all that stuff until you can take care of some of those other things first. Like I would rather have a functioning solar system and be off the grid than I would a whole bunch of silver.
Well, you turned around and but traded all the silver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were shoeboxing silver for a long time and then turned around and traded it.
Yeah. I traded a whole stack of silver for a skid steer one day. That was fun, by the way.
So if somebody was going to buy a big item, would it be beneficial to do that, to buy the gold or silver and shoebox that away?
Well, it depends on where they're at in their journey. If you got someone who's living in an apartment and can't put solar panels up and can't get water independent, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Then silver and gold is a logical.
Oh, yeah.
It's a place you can store some of that wealth that's not in the dollar. But if you could attack any of the water, your car payment, I would pay my car off before I bought silver. I just would.
Because then you could live in your car if you were in an apartment.
Right. I'd pay my house off before I ever bought silver, personally. But again, I'm not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice.
Yeah.
All right, where am I at here? Don't forget, one way to deal with less rain is plant different crops. Yeah, experiment with the more drought tolerant stuff. Talk about that a little bit because you did that last year. Right, Buffalo Seed Company. Yep.
Yeah, some of all of their seeds were bioengineered. Yeah. No, not bioengineered.
Regionally adapted.
Adapted.
Yeah, that's what it was. Regionally adapted.
Regionally adapted.
Yep. Gregory says buy-ins, not buyouts. Watch out. Oh yeah, it's going to get ugly. D-Tay Bat. How you doing? D-Tay Bat. I love these names. I've seen the movie The Terminator. I know how that is going to turn out. Did anybody else find it fascinating that Skynet from The Terminator is what they call it now, and AI is Skynet? Yeah, I just ordered extra items to keep on hand. Yep, I've got a few, maybe 30 blades, a few filters. Let me see here. That's a plus of me living so primitively. I literally hand saw or cut with an axe on my wood that I cook on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Bobby Q says ammo is the new gold and silver. Yep, ammo is a good place to put it. But there's good support where you can only store so much of that too.
Yeah.
Okie Ranch wife said went to town today, wanted more seeds. The worker at Walmart said management told them to throw out all the remaining seeds. What? Yeah. Yeah, Spag says he agrees. I love precious metals, but it's down the list of things to stock back. Yeah, guys, I own gold and silver today. And I'm not discouraging at all. I just think that you should prioritize your life, right? And there's no way I'd be stocking up on gold and silver if I had a mortgage. I just personally wouldn't. I would rather be just debt free, But you know what? Then they do that, and then they come and get mad at me and take my house, and I should have had my silver so I could throw it in my truck and run. I don't know.
Right.
Right.
And that's it. We're all guessing, right?
Hey, D-Tap Bat's birthday. You want to sing happy birthday?
We sure
D-Tap
can.
Bat. Ready? We're going to sing happy birthday to D-Tap Bat. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear D-Tap Bat. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Okay, where are we at here? Some people forgot to store up good for making tasty treats that can go a long way to combat food fatigue and simply bring joy, such as good for making homemade chocolate. Rain Country, I think this is super smart. B used to laugh at me because I would bring home these number 10 cans of pudding and stuff. So this is our early years of prepping.
Like, what are you going to do with what are you going to do with that much pudding?
Eat it. Except we never did. We threw it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do agree with her. Gregory, it's hard to get a good well in that part of Kansas. Not really. I mean, it's funny. The road that I live on, there's a few new houses that have been built, and they won't let them connect to the rural water because the line size wasn't sized for residential. It was sized for farms. So people build houses out here. You got to dig a well or you're not getting any water. All American Prepper said, you might not be a financial advisor, but you're definitely giving solid advice. Yeah, I just don't want someone to say, Tag said, no. May want to get a set of glow plugs for the mill. Oh, yeah, Indiana. Great call. You know what? Indiana is a great guy. Everybody ever know what a maintenance schedule should be like? That's the guy to talk to right there. That's a great idea. Grow glow plugs. I did not think of that. I have Googled the heck out of water purification. Where can I find more info on purifying creek water? Yeah, so the first thing that I would do, RN, I know you talked to Hippocrates Garden, but I'm going to give you some advice. Get the water tested. Because the results of that test will tell you how to treat it. Right? Go get it tested. And it's easy to do. You can get a simple water test at like a Home Depot, or you can ship it out to a university and get a big profile done. But that's what I would do.
Doesn't the town do that? Won't the municipal water company
Some will
test the water?
Yep. Barb wants to know, how will one pay for taxes with having no cash? You're going to have to pay for it with the central bank digital currency. That's what I'm saying. You're going to play. We are all going to be part of it.
We're going to have to play the game in order to pay the taxes.
Yeah, just like that. You can say, okay, I'm not paying my taxes, and now you don't have your house and your land also.
Right.
Yeah, so I stocked flavor extracts, chocolate chips, massive amounts of sugar. Let me see here. I store, how you say that right there, babe? You're the cooker.
Cacao? I don't know.
Cacao.
Okay.
Say that again. Do it. Cacao. Cacao. I would say it's cacao. Cacao butter and cacao powder for making chocolate syrup, chocolate pies, peppermint patties, peanut butter cups, and more. We like to be happy. Ooh, homemade peanut butter cups.
She has a recipe.
You ought to do that. I really like peanut butter cups. Half Bubble Off Plum says my small CU 49K account is aiming to merge with a much larger CU with 875,000 account holders. Teller said if they don't, the smaller one may be out of business. See, this is what I'm talking about. And they're just going to,
Wow.
and they did this with, grocery stores, right? That's what ends up in Walmart.
That's what happened to our grocery
Right.
store.
Just, yep. And then off you go. Hippocrates says creek water will change frequently in agriculture areas. Oh, good point. As they fertilize. Yep. Great point. My mortgage come first. I only have 4 years left trying to pay it off sooner. Yep. Swing, swing, swing. Yep. The beast will outlaw all money. Yes, they will. Hazel, good evening to you. Y'all are such a pretty couple just by looking. I can see y'all's personality. Such a sweet bond. Oh, she's a hottie. Hazel, that's what made it nice, right? Yeah, well, that's good. That means no fluoride in your water. Yep. Except we had a positive test for fluoride in our rainwater. We made pemmican to have on hand to eat when things get bad. That's pemmican? How do you say that?
I don't know.
Pemmican? Cacao for chocolate. Oh, okay, I got it. Yep, rice, beans, hundreds of number 10 cans. Yep, Rain Country, do you have a source for, how do they pronounce it up there? Cacao, butter, and powder.
I like to be happy.
So glad I made your live question and answer, but need to go feed my horses. Be blessed. See you next week. Hey, Okie Ranch wife, good evening to you. Also store extra terminals, wire of several different sizes. Yeah, so Rain Country, if I hope someday the world blesses us, we get to spend some time together one-on-one. And if you ever get down here, you'd be amazed at my wire collection. You laugh, but I'm telling you, a guy like him would go, oh, that's badass.
I'm like, these are all the same wire.
No, they are not. They're all different.
All in different spools.
Yep.
And why we have to keep them all.
I have so many spools of so many different kinds of wire and terminal ends and just, all of those kind of things. I take great pride in that.
Are you nerding out?
No, I'm not. What else you got on your list?
Oh.
You're up. Because I got caught up.
So I'm making a pepper dehydrator video.
Oh, cool. Dehydrating some peppers?
Dehydrating some peppers for powders and seasonings and then for cooking soups and stews and such. So actually it's because the steer is going into the locker. I need to clear freezer space. So these are last year's bell peppers and I have a lot.
How many?
I have like 9 bags of.
How big a bag?
Like 2.5 gallons. They're the jumbo bags. They're like 2.5 gallons. And I've got like 9 bags of them. But we will have spices and bell peppers forever.
Well, you'll have new ones before long.
I know. Those will be fresh ones.
Hey, Indiana Mike had a great idea too. He said a universal gasket sheet. It's good to have on hand too. Just trace it out and cut the gasket out you need. That is really, really smart. Really, really smart. Florida Mama Bear said you have to keep all the wire, B, because 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Right.
That's a lot of wire.
I know, but I
don't know why they'd all have to be in different spools. Like
because they're all different sizes.
Like one big wire spool.
They're all different sizes.
Just pull from it.
They're all different sizes.
All of those are different sizes.
All of them.
They don't make that many different wires. Come on.
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous. Why do you need that many?
Babe, everything you apply it to, it looks for a different size.
Come on now.
Go look at my solar system. How many different size of wires?
2. There's a red one and a black one. They're all the same
God.
size.
You guys, you see what I have to deal with? You see this?
I get the same thing in the kitchen, though. You're like, why do you have to have 5 different pans? And I'm like, that one's aluminum. That one's stainless steel. That one has a coating on it. That one's glass.
Hey, Ghetto, good evening to you. You see, Dan says our power hiccuped. If I drop out, it's power related. All good, bud. Good evening, everyone from Nostradamus. How are you, bud? Learn the hard way to never dehydrate onions in the house.
Yes.
Yes. Don't ever dehydrate jalapenos and then fill the powder in a bowl and then walk towards your husband and trip. That would also be a good
That
thing.
was an accident. That was an accident. I really did not go through all of that trouble to dehydrate all those peppers and
To
then
dump them on me?
to grind all of those peppers
Mhm.
to then turn around to dump them on the ground to sweep them up and throw them away. That was a total accident.
Yeah. Ed says, what do you think of income producing investments, stocks, bonds related, dedicated to paying property tax? Well, if they're doing good and if they're making you enough money to pay property tax, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's some, safer stuff out there, that you could do some of that stuff with. The problem is, guys, is that my opinion, and I will tell you this, you guys know I come from the financial world. I have no money in the market. Okay, because I believe it is super overpriced. And I'm not opposed to maybe someday getting back in, but I'm not going to play this game because there's a whole bunch of people going to get caught holding the bag right here, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Oregano should be perennial there. Before I left my place in Colorado, I had 15-year-old plant I was still harvesting every year. How cool is that?
A 15-year-old what plant?
Oregano plant.
Oregano?
Yeah.
Doesn't it freeze there? In Colorado?
Yes.
Wouldn't that, I didn't know that.
Comes back every year. Just probably dies off. Hippocrates says different wires because of different voltage amps. Yep. I'm working on it more, but have extra terminals, wire, solder, flux, hydraulic press with several dies, heat shrink tubing. That's a good one to have too. Spool of solar wire. Yep.
Mm.
Copper wire will never go down. Yep. I think that is a super well said.
Do you have a spool of copper wire? This copper wire will never go down.
I will bet you if you look through that wire, you might find at least a little bit of copper.
Just copper, though.
You might find
just
some.
Copper? Huh? What is so funny?
I love you, honey.
Do you have just copper that I can have?
No, you can't have it. And yes, I have it.
Is it in the drawer with the other wires?
Yes. Did you know that pretty much all wire is made of copper? Sometimes you can get some aluminum, but mostly it's all copper.
You have to strip it down and stuff.
I don't
That's
have to do
plastic and stuff on it, isn't it? I'm talking about just
I have bare copper wire.
plain copper
Yeah.
on a spool.
Yes. I have bare copper
I would
wire.
like that.
I know you would. Go buy some. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, Potpourri for Life said, I dehydrated onions in the house once. Now I take the dehydrator outside to dehydrate them.
Yep.
And she's got them going to the processing kitchen.
I've learned that onions in the dehydrator is a house lesson.
Hey, Kentucky Sustainable Living. How are you, bud? That was my great. I'm sorry. That was a great, my brother. I would love to do it again and find a particular topic to go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, let's do it. Yep. I've got it. The next couple, I think I've got My Honey's Kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
I think I got 2 coming up here pretty quick, but after that, I'd be free and I'm ready to do it. Rain Country says oregano dies back in the winter and comes back in the spring, like all mints. Lots of spices. That way you don't get food fatigue. Yep, super good. Eagle Lover says, so if and when CBDC comes along, how are you going to be able to buy stocks? They say you will have to use it all or lose it. Well, there's a lot of speculation, Eagle Lover, on what they say. And I don't really believe that, at least certainly not in the next handful of years, that will be the case. But I think they'll obviously, with the Fed now, right, being the middle guy, they'll find some very convenient ways for you to continue to prop up the market that's completely over leveraged and that's been stealing from all of us for many, many years. I promise you, they will continue. They will find a way to make that happen for those who want to play in that game. Hippocrates says, oops.
He did.
He said, you want to know how copper wire was invented? 2 Scottishmen fighting over a penny. Florida Mama Bear says she wants to try electroculture tag. Florida Mama Bear, I completely know what she wants to do, and she is to stay out of my wire drawer. There's a reason I store that stuff up, so I have it, right? Mill, micro switches, solenoids, hydraulic pump, return positive, return contact for hydraulics. Yeah, we could use all that stuff. B wants to make antennas for the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she does. I love these lives. I'm always a student and constantly learning. Oh yeah, me too. Rabbi YT, where are you from? We live in Kansas. Where are you from? I would be interested if you are a rabbi. I'd be interested either way, but I'd love to have a deeper conversation. Thanks for the hydrator tips. Let me see here. Sorry, no, I got it. I know where I'm at. Let me see here. A little foot fatigue. Let me see. That's why I bought my own copper wire. Yeah, Rickster says extra rifle barrels and magazines.
We have a couple of them.
We have a couple. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I think you have a couple and I have a couple.
Yeah, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the next one, right?
Okay.
All right, I'll go.
Oh, okay. So on the community building, when I went downstairs to let the dog back in, you had talked about the community building. Mm-hmm. When we had talked about it last week, you had said that you were going to make like I wrote 22-foot table, but that's probably something different. But for some reason, I was thinking in the middle of the night that that would be awful to try to walk around.
Why?
Because you would have to like walk all the way around it. But if you did like 3 8-foot tables, then you could like go in between the
tables. Babe, you only have to walk all the way around it if you're trying to get back to your original seat.
Or like you have to go over to the sink and come back, or
then
you have to go
to
over to get a roll and come back, or you have to go to, somewhere and come back.
Tell her what we're talking about. So I had an idea of building a river table down the entire length of the community building.
Like one whole long
just table. A long, 30-foot long table, and she's informing me that that's a bad idea.
I think that one long table is too long. I think you should do 3 smaller tables. So I think if they're all facing the same way, you could still like see somebody on the third table over there. Hi.
Yeah.
But it's not inconvenient to walk around to get a roll or a drink or a napkin.
Let me see here. Gregory says, I've been getting lots of old hand tools. Yeah, I collect them as well. I don't use them as much as I should. Chuck People said he got 1,000 rounds of 5.56 today. Yep. All America Prepper says he's been harvesting off the same rosemary plant for years.
Yeah.
Mr. Rain says get extra 12-2 and 10-2 wire rolls out. Also add 14-2 in there.
But check them beforehand because in case they're not right.
Yeah, we had one of them, huh? Nostradamus says long table works great if you have servants. And Deborah says she agrees with B.
So if you have servants, then they don't mind you walking all the way. They don't mind the servants walking all the way around. Grab me a napkin while you're over there.
So you how about I build like 3 individual 10-foot tables?
Yeah.
Would that be better?
Mm-hmm.
Of course it would. Fry's Custom Leather, good night.
Could you try to move a 20-foot table? You'd have to have a straight-on door. You can't come in and turn the corner.
I could build it in there, then you're never getting it out. I've been taking all tools, whether mechanical or garden. When my son collects scrap, I get first dibs. Also, all bolts, screws, nails, anything else. Yep.
I get all dibs. Good job.
MJ agrees with you too. Or you could use a quadcopter drone to fly stuff up and down the table. Now we're talking.
Right.
I like that was really
smart.
You
lean forward and here comes a drone and it like pops you in the nose. And you're like, sorry, I was just grabbing a napkin.
All right, I'll build smaller tables.
I just put that on there because I thought that it'd be more convenient.
Gizmo says, how about a square table with a giant Lazy Susan? We could have a whole bunch of square tables. We have our kitchen table has a Lazy Susan in it.
And it's very handy.
It's very handy. Yeah.
But when you have like 30 people sitting at a table,
yeah,
you got a long way to go around to get to the other side.
Yeah. Hey, Grumpy. Who crashed into the mashed potatoes? I have no idea what they're talking about. Anyway, all right. What's the next topic? I seen today that Walmart and Lowe's are both upset about the lack of discretionary spending that's going on. They're saying that, in Walmart's case, they were saying that grocery sales are up, but discretionary spending is down. What do you think about
discretionary, like what?
Buying a TV, buying clothes, buying non-essential items.
But food is up.
Food is an essential item. Yeah.
But food is up.
Food sales are up,
As
and discretionary spending is down.
I bet food sales are up because they're like shoeboxing the food away. They're stockpiling it.
You think it's the preppers?
I think it's
preppers.
I don't think it's the preppers. I think it's the people who are not preppers who go, hey, the sauce that I buy that's been out of stock for the last 3 times I've been here is on sale. I'm going to buy 6 of them. I think it's probably that because it is hard to find some of the stuff now.
Yeah, Potpourri for Life says because people are stocking their shelves. Sweet Savory Word says push 6-foot tables against one wall, leaving a big walkway instead of putting one long table down the middle. But then when you sit down, you won't see everybody, right? You'll be seeing a wall.
That's where like the food goes, right?
Yeah.
Like you put the food up against the wall to like a buffet line where you're collecting your food on your plate, and then
Yeah, I think Richard's got it right. Richard said it's because the price of food, people can't afford the other stuff. Chuck People said did some bartering this week and ended up with 2 chainsaws, 16-inch and 24-inch Husqvarna. Boy, that's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Brain Country says, I agree with B, just like what happened with the toilet paper in 2020. It's me. I'm buying it all, says Skane's Girl. That's the problem.
It's Skane's girl.
Yep.
She's rearranging those shelves.
Yep. It's the Cougar Den.
Yep.
It's the Cougar Den. It's Cougar Den.
Stuff in the Cougar Den.
Food sales are up because food prices are up. Yep. Drone crashing. Let me see. Drone crash flying along long table. Yeah, see, that sounds like fun.
Oh, the mashed potatoes.
Oh,
Here's
got
some
it.
mashed
Yeah.
potatoes.
Okay, got it. Thought, I do not know why people were stocking up on TP and not food. No input, no output. She's so funny. Read another really interesting thing today, and you guys should be proud. Today is the day you should be proud of the FBI. Proud. You know why? Because they came out and admitted that they had improperly used their power of warrantless searches a few too many times. But it was a minor problem, and they're rectifying the problem. Do you feel better?
How are they rectifying the problem?
They're going to work on not having them anymore, or not having as many.
Did they send apology letters to those who were inconvenienced in the first place?
Yeah, you want to hear the rest of the story?
Yeah.
So it comes from 2021, and during that year, the minor number they're talking about was 278,000 warrantless searches. 278,000.
Warrantless searches.
Yeah. 278,000. What is going on? Let me see here. They claim to rectify the problem in 2016. Yeah, and this problem, these numbers are from 2021. So they're doing a great job. I wonder, Ravens Nest Homestead, what was the number in 2016? Do you remember? Because the number in 2021 was 278,000. They claim, where are we at here? Set up your bouldering system now. That way you're good to go. Oh, bartering. Yeah, this is American Prep. This is why you build community, right? So you have someone to barter with. I bartered with a friend and traded Egyptian walking onion seeds for a 10 by 10 gazebo. I'm going to turn it into a greenhouse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Sweet Savory Word says FBI whistleblowers before House today. Yeah. FBI should be dismantled, as well as the CIA, the NSA, the IRS, and the list goes on and on. Brian Morgan for president. Right? Brian Morgan, I could not agree with you more. I could add a whole bunch more in there, but I think you said it perfectly. All right, what else do I got? Oh, I heard another interesting thing. So New Yorkers, specifically Long Island, but they've been facing with rising sea levels, right?
Yes.
You've heard this, right? Well, recently they came out and they've got a problem that they've come public with, which is the island is actually sinking too.
No.
Yeah. But they said, don't worry, it's been going on for years.
Does it say how much it sank?
I just can't make this shit up.
In these years?
I don't know. I read stuff like this and I'm like, they really think we're that stupid? I mean, they really must
Yes,
think like,
they do.
oh my gosh, it just cracks me up.
Yes, they do.
Oh my goodness. What's the next one that I found that was funny? Oh yeah, so remember I told you guys there was another meeting going on right now. So the Bilderberg meetings are going on right now. So Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, all these tech companies are right now in Portugal, and one of the main topics is AI and trying to decide what's best for us little people through the eyes of of artificial intelligence. And while they're at it, I thought I would share with you they're also going to meet on banking, energy, transition, fiscal policy, and industrial trade.
I'm so glad that they're on our side.
Aren't you glad they're on our side? You guys can go to bed and sleep well tonight.
Comfortably.
You're taken care of. They got you. They got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep paying your taxes.
Yeah. Pockery says Manhattan, the new Venice. Yeah, apparently, huh? Seems we need to set up a delivery shipping company to join the groups Oklahoma, Kansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina.
Yes.
Hey, actually, Riley, I don't know if you email me, tag and be lifedonefree.com. I have a connection that's interested in doing exactly this. But I would love to see a delivery shipping company, something that we could maybe barter with some or exchange some things, kind of out of the system type stuff. I mean, obviously I know there's hard costs that would have to be hard cash, but
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Eagle Lover. There's my email address right there. Well, Kamala is the AI czar, so I'm sure we are going to be fine. Right.
Yes.
One thing I really love about Kamala Harris is she really simplifies things. I mean, she is now the AI czar, and she drove all the way there in a yellow school bus. Right?
Yeah.
How was that? Doing good. Right on, Riley. Yeah, word salad. Yeah.
Word salad.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was such a mess. Oh, here's another funny one. Yeah, I got another funny one. So I don't know if you guys know this. Did you know that Michelle Obama launched a juice company, a juice brand, in an effort to fight childhood obesity? It's called Plezi, Plezi. Anybody hear of that? You ever hear of that?
No.
Yeah. So problem is she's having a little problem with it right now because it failed the elementary school test standards for unsafe sweetener.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. These are headlines that I got this week. So during the week, if I hear a story that just makes me laugh, I just write it down. I figure we'll talk about it because, you can go, there's a million channels out there where you can go and, listen to Ukraine invaded whatever's happening. But you just can't make that stuff up.
Yeah.
She said she was starting a juice brand to help with childhood obesity, and it got kicked out of schools for having unsafe amount of sweetener. It just cracks me up. How can you make that stuff,
Yeah.
Just amazing to me. Every 10 foot, so put a pass through, lift up, and walk through. I must have missed something. He's talking about the table. So he's talking about have a drawbridge, right, on the table that lifts up, or like a leaf.
Why though? Because people will be sitting there. Excuse me, Yoda. Can you move your plate so I can go over there and get a napkin?
Yeah. How about Yoda hand me a napkin?
Walk your butt around. 22 feet later.
Yeah. She says stuff, really smart stuff about stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. I think that's really well said. She says stuff, really smart stuff about stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you got? I did 5. What else you got?
I went on a jar hunt.
Oh yeah. Talk about that story. That was funny.
So I had a neighbor buddy stop over and say that he had some jars and he'd love for me to have them. And I said, of course, I would love to have them. And he said, well, let's go get them. You have some time? I said, yeah, I've got some time right now. I'll run over to your dad's old farmstead and we can pick up some jars. And this gentleman is in his 70s. Mm-hmm. So the jars are from his dad's farmstead. From his dad's house that's still standing, that doesn't have running water in it. And so we went out there and I'm like, whoa. There was a point in time I took off my seatbelt and had my hand on the door because I knew we were going into that pond. He's like, just hang on. And so we start like going up this hill. There's no more driveways. There's no paths. Everything is all grown up. Like the earth has taken over this homestead.
Huh?
And so we go up and we start sliding. He's like, "Now this is a beautiful pond I built," and we're sliding towards it. And I'm got my hand on the door. I'm like, okay, if we get, I'm like looking, okay, if we get to right there, that's where I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump. And so he's like, "Well, this isn't what I thought we were going to be doing." So he puts it in reverse and starts coming backwards. And then he turns around. So we're headed back to back the opposite direction of where we were supposed to be going. And we're sliding again. And he says, "Well, I didn't know that this was going to be this muddy." And I'm like, okay, like I've got one hand on the console and I've got one hand on the door. And I'm like, I am not having fun. So we finally get to the house and I'm like, oh, this is the house that the jars are at. Okay, this is going to be an adventure. So we go to the front door and there's a dead coyote that's mainly decomposed. And he says, "Well, you're going to have to step over that." Like, oh my gosh. Okay, well, where's the door to the house? The door is gone. There's no windows. There's no doors. The roof is gone. There's water coming in. But the jars are on the second level underneath his mom's bed. And I'm like, I don't think I need the jars. And he says, "Now, Bethany, come on. We're going to go up there." And I said, "I'm not going up there." And he said, "Yes, it's safe. I wouldn't put you in any harm's way. We're going up these stairs." And I said, "Please don't. I don't want to have to try to drive out of this field in your pickup. And I don't want to have to try to find help. Please don't go up there." So he went up there and he's on his hands and knees digging out jars from underneath this bed. I mean, he was absolutely right. They were there. And then we didn't bring anything to carry the jars in. Like,
you got a truck.
I thought that we were going to a house that had boxes of jars. There was no boxes involved in this agenda. We went to a house that had been taken over by the land, and we did not have anything to carry jars in except for 2 hands. So I carried 2 jars. Let's go. And so we spent 3 hours.
Hippocrates says what we have here is a failure to communicate.
Yes, I did not get the details. I did not get details that I should have gotten before agreeing to venture into that. Yes. So out the back door, there was a dead raccoon full of white crawly things. It was awful.
Hey, we got some new people. Let me see here. Toilet bowl food review. Well, hello. That's a great name. I like that. Pope for Life says, "B, the problem was that you thought." The Twig says, "What's your policy on the N word? Yay or nay? Which N word?" Nice, naughty. Richard, I heard they are talking about banning lids so people will not be able to can food. Man, we're going to need boxes. Yeah, well, here's the thing. MJ in Wisconsin says, "Poor B." No, not poor B. But B cannot be in charge of logistics, because you would have thought you would have brought something over there to carry them back with.
I thought they were in boxes. I honestly thought I was going to a house that had been occupied like recently, because there was like a bed there. If there's a bed there, there's got to be like windows and doors, and but there wasn't. Like they moved out of this house and left the furniture and moved into town because there was no running water in this house.
Yeah.
And when on the way back, I'm like, "So when was the last time were you at this house? Like, how long ago did you see this place?" Like, and he was like, "Oh, it's been a while."
Apparently.
It's been years.
Pope Reef says, "Save your lids, folks. You can reuse them if necessary."
Yes.
Learn to ferment food and use wax to seal jellies and jams. Yeah, that's right. I do food reviews while on the toilet. Interesting.
Does it pay well? Because that's a gig.
You mean one needs a container to carry containers? Yes, Hippocrates.
Yes.
That's exactly what I mean.
If you want to carry more than 2.
Yeah, Nostradamus says, sounds like you're reviewing Taco Bell. I do my channel to make people smile. Yeah, how cool is that? So really only 2. I slow smoke my meat all the primitive way and salt it, and it keeps for a very long time. I love doing things the primitive way. They are tried and true, tested.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. All right, what else you got?
Just not as convenient sometimes.
So was it worth the trip going over there? Did you want to go back?
So he's like, we're gonna have to come back with some crates to carry these jars in. Now and so one of the hours we were in a Cadillac in the backyard, and he was pulling out these gallon-sized jugs with the hole in the for liquid, like wine or something.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why do you guys have so many of these glass jugs with the screw lid? And he said that his mom used to take them into Country Mart back when he was 30. So 40 years ago, she would take them into the Country Mart, and they would fill them from bulk vinegar barrels. So they would take their jars in and refill the vinegar and then bring it back to can with.
Yeah.
And she had like 50 of these jars that she would just take back and forth.
Yeah, so Richard wants to know how many jars you got.
I actually didn't get any, because the 2 that I grabbed and put in his truck are still in the back of his truck.
So you did it all for nothing.
So I didn't get any jars.
Yeah, they said get some Tatler lids.
Mm-hmm.
You have a whole bunch of them. There was a time where you couldn't hardly get them. I had a connection, and so I bought her several big cases of them.
We put an order in, and we didn't expect to get them, and then months later we
got a whole bunch. Yeah,
we got a couple cases.
Yeah. Let me see here. I caught you on Israeli News Live. It was an excellent video. Well, cool. I'm super glad you're here. Super glad. I will check your channel out, and I will go over and subscribe. Yep. All right. What else you got? I said Janet yelling. Oh, by the way, I'm hearing that lumber futures are going up. So that means you're probably at the bottom or pretty close to the bottom of the lumber prices right now.
Oh.
So
if you're building, go get your assets.
Yeah. Well, I just read a commodities report today, and I've got some connections to this that said that it looks like they're going to go up. So just for
Like
anybody
futures.
building. Yeah. What else? Let me keep going. You got another one.
Sorry.
We're supposed to be trading off and on.
Oh.
And then
usually you do all the talking.
Well, it's because we run out of stuff on your list, which means I'm more prepared than you are, right? How productive were you today?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Not very.
Yeah, Rickster said, be not productive, laugh out loud.
I know.
Right.
No, I
She drove all the way over to that house and didn't come back with a single jar.
But I have friendship.
Mm-hmm. Were you proud of your efforts that day?
Yes.
Were you?
Maybe not that day. Nope, I don't have any.
You have nothing else? All right. So I heard that the Republicans hit pause today on the raising of the debt limit. That's pretty interesting, right? You find that interesting?
They were going to raise the debt limit, and they decided not to.
Well, this is an interesting part. No, they're not going to decide not to. In fact, they are going to raise it. They're going to go right along. They're just playing theater so that you make them feel like they've actually done something. Because the fact of the matter is they have to continue to raise the debt limit, because if they don't, the entire system will crash.
Right.
I mean, we know this, right?
We've talked about this.
Right. But the Republicans today said, we're going to just take a pause because the Democrats were being unreasonable.
How long is the pause? Is it like so many hours?
It's so funny. I just write this stuff down because I'm like, you really think we're that stupid? Oh my goodness.
You have to pass the bill in order to read it.
Crazy.
In order to see what's in it, you have to sign it into law.
Oh, Hippocrates says last word is negotiations are back on tonight. Mr. Rain says, were you productive today? Ha ha. Yep. A cave, it's how they roll. It's absolutely how they roll. And we're just not that stupid, you know. I've been studying about how growing anything I can to replace any medicines I can.
Oh yeah.
The lemon balm and stinging nettle tea really works great on the allergies I've experienced. Cool. Richard Hake says, we took down a 60 by 80 pole shed last fall. Lots of lumber and steel. Amen. Yep, the debt limit stalemate happens every year, says Mr. Rain. Yeah, I just think it's funny how they wash, rinse, repeat. And Republicans put a pause on the debt, limit, conversation because Democrats are being unreasonable. No, you're going to pass it. And we don't get a say. Have you heard of the, I don't know how to pronounce this, Powassan, Powassan virus?
No.
So it comes from ticks.
Okay.
And somebody just died in Maine from it.
Great.
Just figured I'd tell you, since we're on this positive,
We probably should talk to. That's not something in Kansas, right?
Yeah, Nostradamus says it's kabuki theater. It is absolutely kabuki theater. You guys know how last week we all celebrated together because the World Health Organization called an end to the COVID pandemic. And we all celebrated and we all agreed we could get back to work and we could go back out and we could have Thanksgiving dinners and Christmases this year. Remember we said celebrated all this, right? What was funny today, they said there's a new variant called XBB or Gryphon variant. And that it is a new variant of COVID that evades the immunity of people who have already had COVID. Better get your vaccine. It's now in 17 countries.
It evades the. So are we back on?
I don't think we're back on yet, but we're one of the 17 countries that has it. I thought that was pretty interesting.
So we're back on. Pandemic's back on.
Yeah, someone renamed them the World Death Organization. No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's tick-borne, Chuck. I never heard of it before. You want to hear another funny one? Okay, so did you hear that our smart, wonderful, intelligent government of ours managed to kill another top Al-Qaeda leader? How cool is that? Did you like that?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Right. Well,
they're on the ball.
Except it turns out he was just a civilian with 10 kids.
Are you sure?
That's what the news said. He wasn't actually an Al-Qaeda leader. They just thought they made a mistake.
Oh my gosh.
Numbers are in their favor though, guys. You fuck up enough, eventually you're going to get something right. Right?
I was going to say something that's super inappropriate.
What would you want to say?
Mr. Rain said that he was productive in little spurts.
There's always going to be something for them to try to control the people. Simpler times. It's kind of why I go through all this stuff, because and kind of why I poke fun at it, because I think that's exactly right. I think it's the constant scare game. And they just keep doing it and keep doing it. Once in a while they get caught. Oops, oh, I'm sorry. It was a dad of 10 kids. Oh, my bad. My bad. Dang it. I'll get the next one.
Sorry.
Right. It's just, and some of these stories are so out there that it makes me think, how many people can actually
There's
fall
a
for
lot.
it?
There's a lot.
Oh, is the 17th letter of the alphabet Q? That's
Yes.
interesting. Willis Weed, this is really interesting. I can tell you all about the number 17, like Q, the 17th letter. Trust the plan, like Big Mike Robinson, is a Q. And there's that number 17. And I did not put that together when we were talking about the new Gryphon variant. It's in 17 countries, which is what it was reporting this morning. You guys are so smart.
Wow.
You guys are so smart. Yeah. Yeah. Big Mike Robinson born the 17th day. Like the Riddler. Jim Carrey born on the 17th day. Pee Wee Herman meant to do that. Unfortunately, the sheep will believe whatever they're told. I don't know how people believe it. I mean, I just spend a little time on it and go, what? Just like, are you freaking crazy? Man, it just makes no freaking sense to me. Absolutely blows me away. All right, what else do I got tonight? I found this one interesting too. So U.S. and NATO have admitted to causing infrastructure disruptions across Russia. Okay. I find this interesting because they came out, and I was reading an article, and they were talking about how they are worried about the threat of Russia creating, and they use these words, of Russia causing infrastructure disruptions. It's like they read the same script, right? They said we're working on causing infrastructure disruptions in Russia. Next day, we're afraid Russia's going to cause infrastructure disruptions. It's like this just wash, rinse, repeat. Absolutely makes no sense to me. I remember when The Who was just a rock band. Amen. Yeah, I did too. Yeah, apparently it's more than that now. Control the food and control the people.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's even get worse than that. I think, with AI and with all of the stuff going on, I mean, you're talking about controlling people's emotions, what they feel, what they see. There's just so much to it. Just crazy. 6079 Smith said, I didn't know I was locked in with my backup account. I am Rillis. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Rillis Weed is the same as 6079 Smith W.
Mm.
That's cool. I like people with dual personalities. Rillis, this is awesome. Speaking both of them, and so that I can kind of try to learn the differences. Okay, on a personal note, I'll tell you guys. So as many of you guys know, hold on a second. I'm the main character from the book 1984 on Jordan, the GOAT's first NBA game. Obama was 84 days old. I'm the first, yeah. The book 1984. Boy, that George Orwell, he had it right back then. I mean, it's so. Anybody who hasn't watched that in any time lately should go watch it. Kobe died 84 days after his first NBA game. Kobe translates to the supplanter, or one who takes the place of someone else, like a false idol or antichrist. Chat GP. Yeah, there was some. I actually had an interesting experience with Chat GP the other day. So I looked up at Chat GP, and I don't know if I don't know.
Is that the thing that
I gotta be careful right here. Anyway, there's a business deal that's been worked on for the last couple years that's getting closer and closer, and involves the government, and somebody that I run in circles with asked if this deal was going to go through, and it said that it was. You know what I'm talking about, right? Crazy. Anyway, supply chain. I want to talk about that real quick. So many of you guys know this. So I'm involved in purchasing lots of electronic items, stuff like diodes and transistors, and, just super caps, and just all kinds of stuff that is parts, right? Electrical components. And it's getting harder and harder and harder to get a bunch of it. And we're paying more and more and more for it. A lot of the prices, a lot of the prices that we have been used to, small increases as the year goes on, are really getting expensive. And then, and they're also, if we get them.
Yeah.
Right. We had an order come in last week or the week before that was out on order for 6 months.
Yeah.
So if you guys are into any of that kind of stuff, I would absolutely get in whatever you need. All right, I missed a bunch. Where we at here? We the Sheeple, says Chris. Yeah, let me see. Obama's born 8-4. We live in 1984. World navigation is called WGS 1984. Bo Biden died 1984 days before the selection. Michael Prince of the power of Air Jordan, with all the mocking tongue and galley means beyond Jordan. I am not Chad GPT. I'm the Rain Man, possibly. Jordan was born 5,660 days before Kobe. I mean, what are the chances? I don't know. It's a lot to follow. The Immoral Life of Henrietta Lacks, a very interesting book. She had, she had an unusual form of cancer. Scientists could never get human cells to grow, and hers did. Interesting. Has anyone heard Alaskan military commissary signups all over store? No more goods coming from China. Although I think that would be a wonderful thing from our country, it would be certainly painful for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless you. Thank you so much for reading out some of my comments. I will subscribe, but I try to read as many of them as I can. And I have been ever since the first days of this channel. So I don't get all of them, but I try to. I heard that's at all military bases. Yeah, interesting. Alaskan Prepper verified that. Yeah, interesting. I have not read that. All right. What else you got? Okay, so B has promised to do a couple videos for this next week. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Somebody said something about the garden, but there's not
You said you were going to do two?
two.
Yeah.
I have the dehydrator one I'm working on.
Yeah.
But that's a work in progress. That's not a...
Yeah, but they have to be completed during this course of this next week. Because I have to post them. So you're going to have the dehydrator one done, and what else?
I don't know if I'm going to have the dehydrator one done.
Okay, maybe I said this differently. Which two are you going to have done? Hippocrates says you should do one on sandwich making.
Sandwich making? Yeah. Tag's not wanting any more sandwiches.
No, I'm sandwiched out.
How about a roll? How about an unwich? Yeah, I don't know.
You just don't
It's
know.
hard to pick stuff that my everyday life is.
Let me help you out. When you don't know the answer, say, I'm going to surprise you.
Or what would you like to see? Because I'm like running back and forth to the chickens, running back and forth to
Well,
the
somebody
ducks,
wants a
running
tour
back
of your
and forth.
greenhouse. So do a tour of your greenhouse.
That will take like a second.
No, you got to show every plant and what's growing, and that'll take a little bit. And then go up and show them a tour of the garden. That could be one video.
Show them the tobacco, and they'll be like, "Why is that tobacco not in the ground yet, B?" The tobacco plants are monster. They're like, there's a couple of them that are several. I need to get. Well, I don't want them to freeze. Sometimes
The freezing's done.
You think we will not
We're
get
baby. You're in the middle of May.
We've gotten juice snow before.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna wait till July to pat them?
Yeah.
No. Sweets Every Word says, I'm so tired of being laughed at and being made fun of for every non-mainstream truth. You know what, though? Take it as a badge.
Right.
Seriously, take it as a badge.
Or
I would take it as a badge. I would say, man, I think a lot of life is about how we choose to react to what happens to us, right? And you can choose either way you want. And so when someone's a jerk to me, I can be a jerk back.
Yeah.
Right. If someone is nice, I can be nice back, or I can be a jerk. I mean, at the end of the day, I get to choose. So if someone I'm talking to says, "Oh my God, Tag, you were one of the craziest guys," I just go, "I know, right?"
yeah.
I see starfish or something, and
If
just
somebody's
have fun.
laughing, just
Just go on.
ignore them.
Hey, thank you, 6079 Smith W. Bible Jesus spoke in Pair of Buffs, Red Bull Gibbs. Chris White wants to know if you're doing succession planting.
I haven't. I mean, I did it in the greenhouse with the microgreens, but not since then because.
Oh, Gizmo. Gizmo says you can make some 12-gauge copper antenna videos. That was
see
smart.
Me going around Tag's shop looking for wire.
Mm-hmm. You know right where it's at. There's a wire drawer that has
There's a drawer of wire.
Did you know what you don't know is there's also 2 totes full of wire.
Mm.
They're marked wire. Anyway, enjoyed. Got to go do a couple of things before dark. Good night, all. Good night, Gregory. Yeah, don't feel alone, sweet savvy words. I agree with Mr. Rain. Gizmo said, yep, copper antenna video. I should be fine if she did that. 6079 said the Red Bull from Chicago will give you wings. Do you get it? God bless you all. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. John said, I need to figure out how to do soaps and lotions. I just pulled 40 aloe pups off my mother plant and have nothing to use them for. Why don't you make something?
With aloe?
Just make some lotion or make some. What do you have?
I'm planting. I need to plant.
Well, you
I can't spend time getting stuff out of the
got to do a video.
processing kitchen.
Let me see here. Where am I at? Right there. Okay, we had frost warnings for last night. Hope to start planting garden in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's not here, babe.
Where is that?
Yeah, Richard, I don't remember where you're from. Where you from, bud?
Where?
Let me see. Skins Girl says I get a lot of well bless your heart
Washington.
from family. K Valentin 114 says Henrietta Lacks was a very good book, and it's true how they tested low-income minority people as guinea pigs, which is still being done today. Blood and tissue samples not necessary. Yeah, I could go off on that topic. You know, they've done more to keep what's the word? Minority people. And I wouldn't use necessarily the word minority so much as I would say people who struggle, because it's of all colors, of all creeds, of all that, and they absolutely keep them enslaved and do it 100% on purpose. Wasn't there a guy that not only got laughed at but excommunicated for saying the sun does not revolve around the earth? I heard a lot of those. Let me see. English Ivy makes a great laundry soap. Oh, Richard says Central Wisconsin. That's right. Yep. If you film it, we'll watch it, says Richter. I've been telling B we haven't done a B video in a while. You know, it's been tag video, tag video, tag video, tag video, and she's up the next couple. So I'm trying to help encourage that. You guys, why don't you help me encourage her to do a couple videos this next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I don't know if anybody believes in the Bible, but was it not the sun that was commanded to stand still in Joshua? Job says that he has placed earth firmly and immovable. Well, I can tell you 6079 that there's a whole bunch of Christians in here. A whole bunch. Love runs rapid. Good evening. New to your channel, just got too excited. I'll let you all go, but I did subscribe. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, and God bless you both. And everyone in the chat, I usually get attacked. It's all original research. You're not going to get attacked, bud. You know, I promise you that. You just be you and be true to you, you know. Raven said, yes, there's a movie about her too.
Wow.
So
We should watch it.
what movie is that?
About.
Anybody know what it's called?
Black.
Yeah. Anybody know what it's called?
Book.
I mean, you got a Christian here. Yeah, there's a ton of Christians in here. And, you know, the truth is I would love, you know, if we got some more faiths in here. I'd love to have good, honest debate about all of the things that ties us together and not the very few things that divide us all. And, you know, together there's strength in that. And if there's strength in your message and honesty in your message and there's, you know, validity in your message, it will stand anyway. Right? So let's welcome everybody, I think, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see a B video once a week. B, your videos are awesome. I'm late, so maybe I missed it earlier. How about them burbs? Oh, you could do a bird video. You got birds everywhere.
BIR burbs.
I think he means birds, and you have birds everywhere. Yes, the sun was commanded to stand still. I believe that geocentricity is very likely according to what Scripture says, but not flat Earth. Yep, sweet savory words. Yep, I thought of you instantly when they said that. B can make a B video. I'd love that. You need to get over there anyway.
I need to get over there.
Maybe go do a little filming over there. Jonathan says, yeah, I meant the chickens and ducks. I read the Quran and amazed at how similar it is to the Bible. Sweet Savory Word says, I miss your wood cooking video. Yes, you don't get to do any of them because it will cook us out of our house.
Mm-hmm.
Those are done till probably December, right? November, December?
Not before that. October.
At one time you mentioned doing a video about your camera system. I know that there are OPSEC concerns, but is it still on the radar? Yeah. And I don't mind doing a security video. I just won't speak of exacts. You know, I won't, there's just things I'll purposefully leave out as to not, you know, totally, you know, give it all away. Cause I have amazing security here, but my house is super cool from that perspective. Chris White says we all bleed red. Amen. And you know what the thing is like, I tell this to Christians all the time, that again, if your message has merit, it will stand. It's not a big deal, right? You should welcome a conversation with a Muslim or a Hindu or a Buddhist or an atheist for that matter, right? That it will stand. And because it will stand, you should have no fear, right? Welcome them.
Yep.
Because turning them away only makes the problem worse. Turning them away, I think, is being very unchristian, actually.
Yeah.
You know, bringing them in and finding common ground. Guys, I promise you, there are more things that unite us than what divide us. And yet we spend all of our time on those little pieces and things that divide us. And it is just insane how it works. Read the book of Enoch. It's very interesting. But when it comes right down to it, it's the shape of the earth or what revolves around what does not save us. B, you need to do your outdoor cooking. Do an outdoor cooking video. Yes, we have to be careful what we rebuild because there are literally werewolf preppers watching our videos. Yep, that's why there's some stuff I would never show, but I can give you guys a great idea of how I deal with security. Let me see. Tag, set up a camera up for B, 2 different angles, then you get to edit it too. Been there, done that. I love my wife, and you guys know this, and I speak very highly of her. She's my bud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have a great relationship, and editing her videos suck.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, why didn't you put that one part in there? And he's like, I didn't even see that part. I'm like, did you not watch all 45 of my takes? He's like, no, I put a couple videos together and called it good.
Yeah, and I just don't. Maybe it's just we're just different people because I can shoot it and I'm done. And I'll go through and a couple of edits, but I don't usually have take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm like, take 1, video 2.
Yeah. Idea. How about a B and Yoda cooking show? Jesus taught us love, not hate and division. Dividing us is their goal. It shouldn't be ours. Florida Mama Bear, I'm there. We're all the same race, the human race. Yep. They should select a softer target. Yeah. They should, because it's not going to work here. Have to be careful what we reveal. Oh, always. But here's the thing, is that we can help out so many people. And there's things, again, especially in the security side, or like you guys know, I've been a prepper for a long, long time. How many videos have you seen of my stores? The answer is 0, right? There's just some things we just don't film, but we could certainly do a security one. Hey, Dylan, 7515, what's going on? I always say, if you want me to respect your opinion, then you better respect mine and we'll get along fine. 100% agree. Homestead Heart had a good video today about not letting them divide us. Yep. We have to stand strong on this, and we have to not be so quick, to snap back. And it's crazy, and I pick on the Christians a lot. I'm a Christian, but I pick on them a lot because it just never fails how, you get 2 different denominations of Christianity and they can't get along. It's the silliest thing to me, ever. Like, this is why I often say, get rid of the church, build your own church, have your own church in your own house, do it like the Amish do and bounce around, to, do it that way. Because anyway, let me see exactly. I get people who want me to do pantry tours. I show sneak peeks, but that's it. Yep. Dylan says it's afternoon in my place. How long afternoon? Because it's afternoon in my place too, but a long ways afternoon. Tag, I can help with a home security video. That's cool. I'm in. Jesus taught salvation, good news. Do not let religious differences separate people. Yep. Lead Farmer 73 had a great video tonight. He went off on the stuff going on. Yeah, good. More people need to. Skane, when is the home defense video with the turrets going up? Yeah. All right. I think I'm caught up, babe. All right. I think I'm through my list. You through yours?
Yeah.
All right. You got any parting words, and we'll get out of here. What do you got?
I think that we should take care of ourselves.
What does that mean?
We should sleep when we're supposed to and eat better and take time off. And, that's one thing that we don't do. We don't take time off because there's too much to do. But I think that taking time off helps you to recoup too. So I think we should take time. We should take better care of ourselves.
Do you think you don't take very good care of yourself?
Oh no, I eat a lot of sugar and I get up early, go to bed late, work. I mean, you cannot do this if you do not like to work, right?
Babe, I'm gonna tell you something. Falling asleep at 8:30 at night is not late.
That's I fall asleep at 8:30 at night.
8:30, 9 o'clock, often.
I'm exhausted.
Okay, but that's fine. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is your message of go to bed early. I go to bed, I get up early and I go to bed late. 8:30 is not late.
I go to bed later than everybody in the house.
Sweets Every Word says take care of your mental health.
Mental health.
Take time off is hard to schedule in this time of year, but we're getting better at it.
Yeah, especially this time of year. Well, I mean that you could say that for every part, every time of the year, because we go from season to season, and there's jobs that have to be done in every single season, and we go from job to job to job to job to job, or bonbon to bonbon to bonbon to drinks with umbrellas and.
Rain Country says they get up between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, and I'm pretty much out by 7. I don't know what we've got in here. That might be it's the same message, something about Trump. Fact of the matter, I don't like the Republicans or the Democrats. So, and I will give you my phone number. Okay. What is going on here? I got somebody in here. We all support in this stream the mighty Donald Trump. Oh ye. What? I do not. Anyway.
I thought you could take people.
Well, fine. There's nothing wrong with what they said. I don't mind it at all. I just don't really support Donald
Just the same
Trump.
thing over and over and over and over.
I'd rather have him than Biden, but I don't like either of them. So anyway, anything, just take care of yourself. That's your message?
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. You know what? I just found out that Life Done Free is live. 2 hours and 16 minutes in, right? Right. Oh, I love the Sweets Every Word says pause for the little miracles.
Yeah.
See, I think that's, I think that is really one of the issues right there is I don't think it's necessarily about always, hey, take a break. It's that enjoy what you do, laugh along the way, smile along the way, I mean, taking a break's fine, and taking some time off and watching a movie or sitting down or doing whatever is fine. But I think there's another thing, which is mindset. And, you talk about mental health and taking care of your mental health, right? With that laugh your way through it, find a way to smile and find a way to look at the messy chicken coop and say, man, I've got all this mess and I got to get this cleaned up. And oh my God, this sucks and blah, blah, blah. Or how blessed am I? I have 100 chickens. Right?
I don't ever go, this sucks.
All right, I'm going to take care of this here.
I don't have any parts of my day that I really look at and go, oh, this sucks. Even if I have to clean up dog mess on the back porch, I'm not like, this sucks. So no part of my days so far haven't really sucked.
Yeah.
But there are ones, there are chores I enjoy more than others.
Yeah. I think, Richard says, look around and admire what God has created. I don't think any of the politicians are much good. I don't either. We can throw the wrench at that silly goof. Yeah, I did. I think I managed it. Yeah, I think I got it, Rain Country. But since where are we at here? There we go. Just like that. Bam. My message. I think you were talking about a lot of stuff tonight about divide and about, not being a jerk to other faiths, right? And to other beliefs. And if your message is strong, it will hold weight. And so welcome people, don't divide and don't do those things. And I think the other thing is that there's so many forces out there today that are trying to divide us, and it's coming in every wave, right? I mean, everything we talked about tonight, guys, all that stuff was silly. but the kids drink for obesity and yet it fails because it's got improper sweetener in it. Or Janet Yellen saying small banks are, no more. And I mean, it's more and more and more. And so if we give into any of this stuff, if we give into this divide and we learn to hate each other for whatever the reason is, we're never going to win. And the fact of the matter is, someone can be a diehard Muslim or Buddha or a Buddhist or a Hindu or whatever it is, and I'm going to love them anyway. Even if they never change their mind, it's fine. Believe what you want, and I think if we spent more time focusing on the things that connected us instead of the things that divide us, they would have already lost. And we would have already won. But instead, here we are, the sheeple, begging for the crumbs off the table, hating our neighbor when the true fact of the matter, who we should be hating is them. There was a big, I don't know if you guys remember this study where they took 100 black ants and 100 red ants and they put them in a jar. And then in this jar, they didn't do anything and they just ran around. But as soon as they shook up the jar and set that jar back down, the red ants attacked the blacks and the blacks attacked the red. And they started killing each other off. The red were convinced that the black was the enemy, and the black was convinced that the red was the enemy. But who we should have been pissed off at was the fucker who shook the jar. Right? Let's stop, fighting the red ants, and let's start getting pissed off at the dude that shook the jar. Anyway, love you guys. We are out of here, and I guess off we go. I guess I got nothing else. Anything else?
No, try to do a little better today than you did yesterday.
Yep. Hold the line. Don't give an inch. See you guys. Good night, everybody.